Now that's an 80s vibe, if I do say so myself.
That saxophone was brilliant.
I
Oh
think
yeah,
I
it was.
picked a pretty good intro song this time around. Just saying. I'm
Yeah.
just saying. But shout out to everybody in the chat right now, man. Welcome to Saturday Night Hypnosis number 38. I hope you guys can't hear my game music in the background. Why is my chat showing up? I need to turn that off. Clearly, what's wrong with me? Watch this. And it's gone. Okay, great. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Welcome as people come in little by little, left and right. Obviously, we have a brand new guest, Words of Paradise. Welcome to the stream officially. We're going to do our intros, and obviously, you'll get to say hello to everybody and whatnot. We got a lot to talk about tonight, of course. We got good old Disney, Little Mermaid. We got Disney's earnings call to talk about. We got Cleopatra blackwashing the world, apparently. We got, what else did I talk about? Guardians of the Galaxy box office, surprisingly doing well. And apparently it's because of China, which is very interesting to me. And a whole bunch of other stuff. So we're going to get right into it. But of course, before we do, let's do our intros. Casey will be here around 8:30-ish. So she's running a little late, as expected. It's all good. We got Words of Paradise. Take it away, man. Tell them who you are, how to find you, all that good stuff, and who the bird is.
Yeah, I am Words of Paradise. But first, I want to tell you guys about Dr. Pepper Zero Sugar. It is it's getting warm out there. The summer months are coming, and we can't crack open the cold one with the boys with Bud Light anymore because they have sided with the trannies. So drink Dr. Pepper Zero Sugar because the summer months are great and it is zero sugar. It will help you look good in your Speedo. Sorry, I want to channel my inner Ben Shapiro there for a bit. Yeah, no, I'm Leon Idol. I'm with Words of Paradise. You know, we cover nerdy news almost every day. Had to take a couple days off recently, but almost every day, whether it be about anime, video games, movies, Disney, you name it, anything that's in the nerd sphere from a usually semi-political edge, but not always, both good news and bad news. There's a lot of bad news on YouTube. So I like to, pepper in a bit of both, just nerdy news in general. But yeah, you can find me at the channel Words of Paradise, and I'm stoked to be here.
Beautiful. I love it, man. Great intro. That's almost coach level energy, man.
Thank you.
Stuff. It's good stuff. Now we got Dragon Slayer commentaries. Take it away, man.
Hey guys, how you doing? It's your good old crazy dragon here, and as usual, I'm gonna try to botch the stream as I always do. I haven't found my moment yet, but I'm working on it. But other than that, I am the person that makes crazy meme reviews and sometimes goes into a lot of detail about things other people don't catch when making commentary on the trash heap that is our current modern media. And so if you're into that, well, you already know where to find me. And yeah, if you're wondering about these two guys, they're basically my my shattered personalities, my alter egos, if you will. The one on the white blazer jacket, he is a little bit more aggressive than the balanced middle. And then the one on the left is basically a redneck, just kind of finds balance through a bunch of hellfire moonshine. But that's about it, That's me. Let's get started.
Whole bunch of personalities from one singular dragon. It's quite amazing.
That's right.
I really hope the redneck's name is Lucky. That'll complete.
No, it's Robert E. Lee.
Did you actually name them?
Yeah. So the one on the right, the blazer jacket dude, he's basically a bro personality. So his name is Dragon.
I remember
Bro.
that. I remember Dragon Bro. What about the other one?
The other one is Fire Neck Dragon.
Why did I not remember that?
I don't know. He's kind of new. He's kind of new. So you got to give him some time before the name sticks. Fire Neck Dragon is kind of, it'll catch on eventually.
There's going to be a point where you're going to have literally nothing but dragon personalities in your little section there. I'm going to see like 20 different dragons there. It's going to be awesome.
I mean, right. Hopefully at most 5.
I know. All right, now we got good old Ryan Roger Athe. Take it away, man.
What are you saying, old? I'm the youngest person on this panel. I'm 23 years old.
You're only 23. It's okay.
Only 23, people. Only 23.
Only.
Folks, I can't wait to turn Words Bird into a racist because it is capable of speaking. Hello, everyone. I hope you're all doing well. My name is Ryan Roger Athe. I am the host and founder of Reality Based, and hopefully we all have a great time. Great to see Cannoli Sasquatch, a wonderful individual. And hopefully we have a great time eviscerating pop culture mainstream in order to make pop culture great again, one character, one comic book, one creator at a time. So that's my intro. Say hello to the birdie too. The birdie should speak. Teach the birdie to speak, and he can have an intro.
It's funny you
He
said
is
you were going to turn him into a
fascinating.
bigot. He is already a sexist. He very much prefers the company of men over women. Like the bird does not like a lot of women.
Oh
So
no,
he's
gay
either a
parrots.
sexist, yeah, or he's gay, and my bird is actually part of the liberal agenda. So it could go either way.
Wait, so does this count as 2 levels of diversity then? Since we have a person and a bird who's also a racist, like or
Yeah.
sexist. Oh wait, so the bird is sexist.
Yeah.
The bird
So we
is
need
sexist.
words of paradise to be racist, and then we're covered, right?
Yeah,
And
well,
gay,
I'm
apparently?
retarded, so that way we got ableism covered. Like I'm your
Okay.
disability hire.
Oh,
Okay,
no.
good. All right.
I'm,
Well,
I'm deaf in one ear, so there's that.
we
get all
lost
the
some
check boxes.
diversity recently on the channel, so that's why it's very important. We need to make sure we
It was
we
very
get it back up
grateful,
again.
wasn't it?
Yeah.
Hypno?
It's very sad. Let me call out
Yes.
this super chat really quick from Zephyr, who apparently is drunk. By the way, it's not me saying it. It's them saying it. For $2.20, says foo 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 foo. This wine awesome and chocolate. Yeah, no, they're very drunk. They're very drunk.
The fact that
definitely-
they gave you money while they're drunk says a lot.
How many of me are there?
Zephyr, while
These-
I would never turn down money, I think it's probably best you don't super chat tonight.
away, Zephyr. I need
No.
my paycheck
Keep
cut
your-
from Hypno.
Keep your finger away from the dollar sign for
Yeah.
tonight, Zephyr.
I would probably keep it far away. Unbelievable.
We need bird seed. For the
Also,
bird.
for everybody in
Oh
the
my
stream,
God.
just because this has been such an issue, at least for me anyway, it gets so annoying. I have now set up alerts on my screen so I can see when you guys gift memberships and stuff. I won't miss that anymore. I know I was missing it in previous streams because StreamYards doesn't have that feature to showcase gifted memberships. So you will see something pop up on my personal camera screen in front of Diablo whenever, just like that. Yep. So I'll be able, I cannot
can
miss it
respect
this
that
time.
Avatar.
You know what I'm saying? I cannot miss it anymore. So sorry for everybody who gifted memberships prior and I was unable to see it, but now I can.
Ramming
And,
with
and,
them.
and you guys will be able to see it too. So it's gonna be awesome. And apparently Zephyr sent a super sticker for $2.20.
Keep doing it.
So,
Keep doing
yeah.
it. You'll live to regret it. Keep doing
He'll
it.
keep
I need
he'll
my
keep
cut.
donating in 220. That'll be the consistent thing
God,
throughout the
Zephyr, that's
drunken
funny.
stage.
Yeah, that's funny. General Vague says, "What is the bird's name?"
The bird's name is Hondo Onaka, after the Star Wars character, because I figure if he's gonna be a parrot, name him after a pirate, because pirates have parrots. There's levels to the logic.
Okay, that makes sense.
Okay,
I was expecting something a little more sexist, but Fair
Holdo.
enough.
Call him Holdo. Yeah. But
I could not disparage the bird like this. Name him Holdo. Come on now.
Well, I'm amazed that the bird is so able to stay on your shoulder while you're dancing about. While you're
Bobbing and weaving. Yeah, no,
they're very well
he's in
balanced.
there.
sleeping.
In all seriousness, very well
I'm
balanced.
surprised how he's just staying there. Like he hasn't moved at all. Like he's not moved from that single spot at all.
Yeah, no,
It's
he's
just-
he's pretty well trained. Like, yeah, train him
He's
like a
immersed.
dog. He flies around the house, eats his food, plays around. Just he's effectively trained like a dog. I even got a harness so I can take him outside and take him on walks and stuff.
He's looking at words like, "Are we really on this stream right now?"
And
All right.
he's gone.
Let's start off with this
Oh, no, there he
because
is.
I wasn't going to start off with Cleopatra,
Mhm.
but this comment has me interested. So apparently, Netflix quietly has relabeled the Cleopatra thing to a docudrama instead of a docu-series or documentary.
No
Interesting.
shit.
I wonder if
am
that's
not
true.
surprised.
I wonder if that's true. I need to look that up. I'm definitely gonna look that up. But the whole thing came out already, right? The docu-series. I mean, I'm obviously not watching it, but like the whole
Yeah.
docu-series came out, right? Already officially.
It did. I haven't watched it yet, but I'll volunteer as tribute for this one.
Go for
Oh
it.
god.
You're a good man or a good beast.
Yeah,
Well-
I will not do it. I just refuse. Like it's just not even. I am
man,
more
that's too
interested in
much.
Disney Star Wars than I am in watching Cleopatra, and that says a lot because you guys know I do not fuck with
Yeah.
Disney Star Wars at all. But
Dude,
I'm
it's-
trying to
you
look
know-
up the show. Go ahead. I'm just looking.
No, you know what I think this show should be called?
Mhm.
What was that name I had in my head? It was like a title. I think it was
Cleopatra.
No, Cleopatra
Cleopatra.
is like it's kind of like it's kind of expected. I know some people are just
Mhm.
going to throw it around. I was thinking more of Wakanda Forever pandering with no historical accuracy. I mean, it's still working for
Cleopatra
us.
in Wakanda Forever.
I do
With
notice
Kylo
that there
forever. There it is.
Or stands forever.
it seems as if they're really trying to gain that notoriety from the original Black Panther. Because the first Black Panther, that was a lot of money, man. There's a lot of money, and they lost in comparison. Black Panther Wakanda Forever, I think, made $400 million less than the first one, like 400 million plus, and that was in inflated times. You got to remember that too. Like everything's much more expensive now. So yeah, there. See, we got a nice. There you go. Another follower.
Hypno, I was gonna say this on the Netflix page. What they have it labeled as in the genre section is TV dramas, historical documentaries, and docuseries. So basically, they
They're having
originally
their
had
cake
it.
and eating it too.
It's like a mix
Yeah.
of everything, essentially.
No, I think they added the TV drama thing later on, but originally it was just historical documentaries and docuseries. They probably added TV dramas near the end of production because they were like, oh well, this isn't we kind of want it to be more like those historical dramas. But here's the
Yeah.
thing: if you want to know about Cleopatra and you actually want actual history, there's literally this documentary series that does the same thing that the Cleopatra show does, where it shows like actual historians talking, and then they show you scenes of actors reenacting scenes of certain important events. There's a show called Roman Empire. It tells you the stories of three of the most big rulers or notable rulers of ancient Rome at the time. The one of Commodus, Julius Caesar, and Caligula. The Julius Caesar one, it gives you all the background on him as he was in the actual history, and then even covers the Cleopatra side of things, which is most of her history. Surprisingly, even though she's kind of like a footnote near the end, that's her actual history. There isn't much known about her history other than what survived in the official documents.
I think you mean herstory.
Oh my god!
I can't wait
Not
for the
the
Arabs
herstory.
to just tear these fuckers to pieces like the Arabs usually do with anyone who messes with their history.
Oh,
'Cause he-
Egypt has been. I mean, they're suing.
They're
Netflix.
big.
Egypt has been throwing a massive.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like, at the
and they're
political
conquerors.
level.
The Arabs are not
Yeah.
indigenous to Egypt. They conquered the land, but even they
Uh-huh.
value its core tradition, and they killed the fuckers who were there. So, even the Arabs are respecting Cleopatra more, and they
Oh
probably
my
killed
God.
her.
Dude.
Well,
Not
all
sure, but
Pharaoh
her
and Love and War.
Hey, look, I was going to tell you something with these people. They don't know who they're messing with Egypt. This is the same people whose archaeological community, no matter if you show them evidence that some of the ruins they discovered are older than 6,000 years or the period of the ancient known pharaonic line, they'll get mad at you and try to excommunicate you and say that it's all lies, even though there are ruins that were discovered that are like 10,000 years older. You know, this is the type of people you just angered, basically. So yeah, whatever, let them have it. I honestly don't care. They deserve this for trying to blackface history, which is
They're definitely doing
insane.
that because look, it says it right here. The genre says docuseries, and even on the fucking the advertisement poster, it says a Netflix documentary. So like
It is.
those are two
It's
very
something-
specific words that have very specific meanings, and they don't mean, hey, let's just change everything and claim it to be facts. You can't
It's
do
the
that.
meme. It's the Netflix adaptation meme in reality. That's why memes are so well done, is because the truth is, and sorry for the shameless plug, no wonder you're hiding me. The truth is reality based.
Sorry.
To be
can't help
fair,
it.
this
The
show
super
is
chat
not the
tied you, I'm
worst
sorry.
thing that the show is not the worst thing that Jada Pinkett Smith has ever done. Like, if we're gonna be honest, so
Oh no!
Oh no, not at all.
Yeah,
You go
That's
through her
not
whole
worth-
history and it makes you cringe. Let me call out the super chat real quick. Kilted Cajun, $20, man. Thank you so much. Says, let the Iron Age rise from the ashes of the petulant, overpaid, talentless Hollywood dumpster fire. Wow, that was a Quite a
Well,
sentence.
That was poetic.
That
That's
was
something you would see
poetic
Oh,
and
no.
emotionally
Like,
driven.
hieroglyphs or
No,
something.
no, dude. Like you didn't give it the oomph that it needed.
Oh
Hold
God,
on.
here we go.
Yeah,
Okay,
you got
go
Let
ahead.
me do it.
Go ahead.
No,
go ahead.
no, yeah. Let the Iron Age rise from the ashes of the petulant, overpaid, talentless Hollywood dumpster fire. There.
Wow.
Mm.
I
Can't
think
take
that
it all
deserves a
that way.
cheer.
Yeah, see?
Good job, Dragon Slayer.
Top that.
Now,
In all
which
honesty.
person was that, Dragon Slayer? That was Dragon Bro, or it definitely wasn't the redneck, or was it the
he's
yet
not
to
co-
be revealed Dragon Scholar?
one day the Dragon Scholar will come out. When
the
I have a
closet.
concept, because I don't yet. Oh God, dude! Now I gotta.
Cajun accepts it. Says that was acceptable. There you go. See, you did a much better job.
You should have gotten the Breaking Bad, clip where he just goes, "It is acceptable."
You know,
I always
actually, I
love
was
that
going to
scene.
talk to you about that because I can add you. I want to add you as like a person who's in charge of like StreamYards and stuff, because if you could do that, that means you can actually add meme clips, and I know you got a ton of them, and I think it'll be great if we can use them in the future. So if
I
you're
got a
down,
bunch. I even got that one that I was talking about. I have a
if you're down
large
for that,
library.
I would definitely. Yeah, I know you do. So I'm gonna add you at some point. We'll talk about it and do our thing. But yeah. So Hollywood's doing its typical thing, obviously, and I made a video recently that's doing pretty well on the channel right now, talking about Adele James, who, for those of you who may not know, is the actress who does play Cleopatra, and she decided to just straight up attack. There's no other words other than that. She straight up attacked Egypt and is trying to say that they're the ones that are wrong, that they need to basically accept the blackwashing that's happening, and that she doesn't understand why or how people are so offended by black skin, because that's clearly what the issue is.
It's
victimhood
always
mentality.
about black skin. It's
She's
not.
never
it's
met
not
an
about
Arab.
getting it wrong.
She's never
Right.
met an Arab, has she? Those fuckers don't
No.
take no for an answer. They conquered half of Europe because they wouldn't take no for an answer.
Dude.
Oh,
You're
this
right.
is even
I've
this is
met
even
some
better.
myself,
Look at
but
this. Look at this fucking headline. Hold on, I gotta bring this up. This is great
What?
stuff. It says, oh, these stupid ads, man. I hate these ads. It says, Queen Cleopatra actress Adele James says claims of blackwashing are fundamentally racist after she was cast as the Macedonian Greek ruler in a Netflix series. But
what a
here's the thing. So
what a title.
the title's amazing, first off. And second off, so she says that claims of blackwashing are fundamentally racist, right? Which means it has to be a real thing. She just claims that it's racist. But then in another article or another interview, she says that blackwashing doesn't exist and is not real. So if it's not real, how is it fundamentally racist if it's not real? I just like either it's real or it's not
That's what
real.
she is.
Yeah,
A
she just doesn't
two-faced
understand what
bitch.
she's saying.
I just thought of something amazing, guys. Just imagine it's like that Jada, in her pursuit of insane power grabbing, decides to make a documentary of Jesus, and then she makes Jesus black.
Oh my god! You know what's gonna happen? Jesus being
all the
black
12 disciples.
No, it's
look,
coming. It's
Didn't
coming.
Adult Swim already
and
do
half
that
of the-
show though? Black Jesus, like that's already a thing.
Yeah, but no, she'll make half of the 12 disciples women, and then Mary Magdalene will be lesbian or some crazy thing like that.
I rode on a donkey on an ass. Your mama's ass.
Oh my god! Zephyr for 2020. What is with the 2020? It's like there's such a specific number. It says blackwashing isn't real, and then laughs in World of Warcraft. That's great. Great stuff. Great stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
Blackwashing is 100% real. Actually, I have a post on Twitter.
Oh,
I don't know if you guys saw that post. I retweeted it. It kind of gives an example of all the latest blackwashing over the last couple of years. I just got to scroll down out of all. Here we go, right here.
Well, I tried
Perfect.
blackface once with
How'd that work out?
a pen.
oh no!
Apparently, I can't make this any bigger. That sucks. So this is the most recent examples of blackwashing that has happened.
Ginger side.
Over the last few years.
Gingers are just not allowed on TV anymore. I can't wait till they do live action Futurama. Fry is not gonna have red hair. Apparently,
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Do you guys notice a pattern? And it's not the black people You know,
Aren't there less redheads than there are black people? Isn't it actually more genetically rare to be a redhead? So wouldn't they be a bigger minority? It's like something like 2% of the population, if I recall.
Well, let me channel my inner coach and say that they are the special people. They have all the pure blood, and that's why they're getting rid of them, because they are special people.
You're making Coach
Germany and all that.
when he's not.
I'm glad the chat is picking up on the similarities here. All those redheads, man. All those redheads.
Poor redhead.
Maybe it was just a lot of daytime shooting, and the redheads would get sunburned, and like that would ruin the shot. So they needed to, hire people with some more melanin. That way.
Oh, sure.
Don't you mean more daylight shooting? As in they all got shot by the people who replaced them.
I do got to make the joke that at least some of them here, even though they've all been basically blackwashed, at least some of them tried to keep the red hair, even if it looks absolutely stupid. At least they tried to keep
like
the red
Tris,
hair.
you mean?
Maybe it's because of the photo, but
Daphne
still looks like a white girl in this photo. Like maybe that is a race.
No, she's black, bro. Just look at the features.
That's a black woman.
That's a black woman all day long.
Light, bright, sure.
She looks like she got a little bit of Latina on
skin.
her, but it's a light-skinned black woman.
That's still better than making her Asian like Velma did. So.
You also got to remember too. You also got to remember that when they hire black people for Hollywood, they also whiten their skin often. They make them kind of like makeup wise, they very much lighten their skin. Because if you look at pictures of Halle Bailey outside of Little Mermaid, you'll realize she's slightly darker, very slightly. Like you got to really look to notice, but she is actually darker.
So who are the real racists?
Who are the real racists? I don't know.
The
bird. We're gonna start with the bird, probably.
The bird.
Go from there.
The bird races all over the place.
How are people now just figuring it out on Puerto Rican? It took me wearing a fucking Timcast beanie with a Puerto Rican flag for people to realize that I'm Puerto Rican. I've said it so many times.
I knew you were Latino, but I never paid attention to the nationality.
I just always assumed
why?
it was some sort of eldritch horror, and that's why you got the eyes and stuff going on.
True. Everybody, when you say you're Latino, they automatically assume you're Mexican or some shit. That's the problem.
No, you
goddamn racist.
You have electricity in Puerto Rico?
I know, right?
Oh my god!
Shocking. It's crazy.
You must be very wealthy, Hypno.
You ever seen the not to go off topic, but you ever seen I see TikTok videos of people who watch like other people in foreign countries, right? So I saw somebody who was a creator in Africa, and one of the comments that they got on their video that they responded to was like, "There's electricity in Africa." So the person takes a video, right, responding to the comment, and walks around like the electrical lines and shit, and the cell lines and all that, the cell towers, and they're like, "Yeah, I don't know how these things got here. It's just here." You know,
you're looking at
it fell from the sky one day.
It's like the white man must have made it here in Africa or some shit. You know, it's just it's
the
funny,
great
man.
aliens came down and they provided all this to us.
Oh shit! They thought I was black. Damn it! There goes my subs. They thought I was black. That's it. Game over. Channel's over.
I said it in the private
You're wearing too many beanies.
Hypno's
That's why.
brown.
What happened?
I said it in the private chat. I didn't know you were brown, Hypno.
I thought you were joking in the private chat when you said that, to be honest.
Oh my god!
I'm definitely brown. I'm definitely brown.
No, he definitely is. If you've seen pictures of it,
no, I thought Ryan was joking. I know Hypno is. I thought Ryan was joking when he asked that.
Oh,
God damn it. I lost the black vote. That's it. Going back to the Democrats. Game over.
Look,
you're losing
only 13% of the population.
Quickly, spray paint yourself blacker.
Shit, I got to go back to the dreadlock picture quickly.
I quickly go.
Maybe you can claim you've got a bunch of Native American in you, and that'll get you a position in the House of Representatives. That's how you go about it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You have a black person in the chat saying that they approve you. So,
or I could just donate to like the nearest black charity, and I'll just like every other Democrat and be absolved of my sins.
Yeah,
like, here's $100. Please forgive me for not being black enough. Sorry.
I mean, I don't know
the homeless guy on the corner, the nearest black charity.
Yeah.
No, and then eat the food in front of him, like that dude. Yeah.
Oh, I remember that. Fancy Pants Pikachu for $1.99. Puerto Ricans, the redhead of Hispanics. Oh my god. Hispanics.
Who was it in the Twitter chat? Someone said that Ohio was the Mexico of white people, like of the U.S. And
I think that was
it was that you. It was you or Coach. Someone, and I lost my shit because it's so true. I'm not from Ohio, by the way. Someone says like, "Are you from Ohio?" That's the Mexico of the U.S. But that's so true. That was incredible. I never considered it
shit,
before.
Oh,
guys!
no.
I made it. I made it. I
You got
made it.
the
I got the
N-word
N-word pass. Let's go.
And a Latino gave you the
Let's
N-word
go.
pass too.
I'm so excited. Hell yes. It's about time. I worked hard for that. Now I can use it on
Exactly.
Twitter. It's great.
You worked hard. You worked hard R for that, or
I worked very hard for that. Very hard.
Never say it publicly, folks. Just say it privately as much as you want. That's my attitude.
Twitter's not public, it's okay.
Unless we have a black one on the stream, then they can say it for us. See, big
Yeah.
brain
Or
tech.
Which has happened. Which, by the way, where the hell's Atreus?
Atreus is literally just Atreus. It's our.
Atreus is on the run. It finally caught up with him, masking up. He paid the price, and now he's on the run.
Fancy Pants
And now he's
Pikachu
on
for
his way to it.
$1.99 says, "Sorry about my spelling. Just took a huge bong hit." What is with everybody drinking and fucking smoking today? This is an interesting.
Everyone is just.
You need to stop doing those illegal substances and drink more Dr. Pepper.
Absolutely.
Zephyr
Zephyr
again
for
with the
$2.20. What is with that 220? What is with that number? I want to know how you got to that number.
You're gonna be
220.
pissed to watch this show.
I can't take it. Like it's always 220.
220 min to leave a comment. Oh, 220 minimum to leave a comment. Used to be 2, but inflation. That's funny.
This
Wait, is that
Canadian.
really
That's
true?
right. I forget.
That is funny.
To leave a comment now.
No,
How
it can't be
Canadian
because
of
there's
you.
people using. Oh, maybe Canadian, yeah, because there's people
how
leaving
Canadian.
$1.99. You know,
How
so
have I been on EFAB? Artiste, I mean, I'm flattered, but no, I've not been on EFAB at all.
I wish.
I've seen-
Smaller fellow Welshman.
Yeah.
Mm.
But anyway,
well.
let's get back on topic really quick. So, all right, the ginger side, obviously, right? So, I pulled this up because I thought it was very interesting that it literally is all redheads, and they tried to say it's not a conspiracy. It's not, it's a conspiracy theory. It's not real. It's not happening. I don't even know how many pictures this is, but this is what 4, 8, 12, 16. This is multiple examples of redheads being blacked, essentially.
Say 32.
I didn't count the whole
32.
thing.
Yeah, 32. It's
32, and
32.
that's only one Twitter post, so you got to imagine how many there actually are.
Mm.
It's ridiculous, and it goes to show how representation only matters for a certain group, and it's never matters for really anybody else. And the funny thing is, I never see, aside from maybe aside from maybe John Leguizamo, which for some reason I don't know why he still even talks these days, but aside from him, I don't see. I don't know. I'm trying to think. I don't see any Latinos ever complain about lack of representation.
No, so it's funny you say that. 'Cause,
way too
this
much.
is something that I covered recently. John Leguizamo came out and he was doing what he always does and talks about how hard it is for Latinos in Hollywood. And it's off the top of my head. And he says this is it's so hard for all Latinos. And all I could think of was Javier Bardem, Antonio Banderas, Cesar Romero. I went on a list of like 10 off the top of my head. Why is it I can name 10 Latino actors, male and female, Jennifer Lopez, just like none of them have ever had this complaint before. Why is it this one Latino actor in a sea of them that have been relevant for the last at least 20 to 30 years? Now, John Leguizamo claims that all Latino actors and actresses go through this and that they're so discriminated against. Yet you can name several. Why aren't they also complaining about the same thing?
Steven Seagal, that's your answer. Because he nearly
Steven
put him
Seagal.
through a fucking wall, and I wish he did. When a 6'5", 60-year-old guy can put you against a wall and have you pissing yourself like a bitch, you're a bitch. So
No, it's
fuck
his stunt double.
Leguizamo.
Remember,
You say
it's
that
his
with such
body
gusto.
double.
Gusto. I like it, Brian. I like it.
Yeah.
'Cause I'm a
Exactly.
Steven Seagal super fan. I've got 8 of his fine films.
Oh my!
DVD box set collection.
Is that part of the tower back there?
Yes.
Nice.
The tower that
That tower is going to fall one day on stream. It's going to fall one day on stream.
Especially after you
no.
made all those comments about Arabs earlier and the towers are going to fall. Like,
Oh,
Yeah, that's why I made them. That's why they're there.
It's
I
going
just
to
need
be
plan.
insane.
Oh man, dude, Steven Seagal. Like, I might make a review on one of his movies,
do
but
it.
like, I would just do it just for fun because, like, I'm sorry, Steven. Some of his movies are great, but dude, recently, like, after finding out how terrible of a human being he is, and the fact that his body double seemed to be taking more of the screen time than his own face.
Yeah,
Well,
I want to.
think
What I
about
want
it.
to see is
How much of
Dennis
Hollywood is
Rodman
always
and,
terrible? You know.
yeah, no, I want to see Dennis Rodman and Steven Seagal hang out because like Dennis Rodman,
Oh
he's
my
super tied
God.
to North Korea. He's hanging out there all the time. And Seagal is the same with Russia. So I feel like they could do some incredible buddy movie about Korea and Russia.
Oh, they need to do that, but like make it to where it's like they're both like Russian soldiers during the Russo-Japanese War or something like that.
I'm so
That'd
tired
be
of these
great.
articles. I really am. I really am tired of these. I might do
Oh
a video
my
on this.
God.
Why,
What's with
so
that star
who is
clip,
this, by the way?
too?
Slate. No, I don't know who
Slate.
Slate is. Why it makes perfect sense for Netflix's new Cleopatra to be black. I guarantee if we have any Egyptians watching our stream right now, they would like wholeheartedly disagree with
Go
this. which-
Arabs. Go
by the
Arabs.
way, guys, like the
Please do
stream.
not bomb our stream.
Like the stream.
Bomb
We're
whoever
very-
is saying Cleopatra is accurate. Okay, we are not. We are just commentators now. We are not involved in this travesty.
Yeah,
We're
we-
very
we-
close. We're getting
review
close to the
bombers.
100
We
likes,
do a different
guys.
kind of bombing than
Yeah, true.
Yeah, which we're gonna talk about that too. That article you sent me, Words of Paradise. We're gonna go over that too, because the whole thing that Rotten Tomatoes is doing, which I think they stopped though. I think it went back to how it was before. I don't know if that's.
I
that's
would
true.
hope so.
I think it
Yeah,
did, but
I haven't checked to see if it's gone back to normal because I was reading that article last night, but yeah, again, wasn't able to make the video. So
right. It's only because they got caught though. I would imagine, but I
Yeah.
promise you, like I said in my video, and I'm sure you said the same thing. They want to make that a thing. They want
absolutely.
to remove audience scores to stop people from giving their opinion on stuff like this because they can't put out their stuff without any kind of backlash. It is brutal, the backlash they're getting. And it's not just review bombing. The funny thing is, like, they say the 1-star reviews that are like 2-3 paragraphs long are review bombs, but they're perfectly fine with the fucking 3-word 10 out of 10 star reviews that they leave up all because it's a 10 out of 10. There's no way that's a review bomb.
Well,
No way, you know?
And it's not just Rotten Tomatoes because I mean in the gaming space we've seen Metacritic stating they're going to do the same thing. They haven't rolled out how they're going to do it yet, but ever since the review bombing of the new Horizon Zero West DLC, they've stated that they're going to go in and change how audience reviews are done. Which again, to me, it's common damn sense. They are the paying customer. Should be the biggest voice. I love movie reviews, music reviews, video game reviews. I'm a fan. My dream job was for a long time to be a film critic because to me there's just an art to writing a really well done review. But that was of course 10, 15 years ago before this crap happened. Nowadays the paying customer, they should be the ones we're listening to because if someone walks out, I paid $70 for Tears of the Kingdom, the new Legend of Zelda game a couple nights ago, and you know what? So far, for the most part, it seems like it's been worth the money. You know what I haven't seen? Articles talking about how it was review bombed. But Redfall is review bombed. Peter Pan and Wendy is review bombed. Why isn't this $70 game getting review bombed? Maybe because the people who paid money for it are actually impressed with the quality.
It's because, like this comment says, audience score is going to equal the next dislike button. And we all know exactly why they removed the dislike button. They removed it because, first off, the White House, obviously. They removed it around the same time Joe Biden got in office, specifically for a reason.
Because
but not only that, if you want to...
him got ratio to oblivion.
Absolutely. But even if you want to take the politics out of it, they removed it to protect corporations. They removed it to protect companies putting out shit like this. Netflix, Disney, all these companies putting out this stuff, they did that for a reason because the better they can protect the image, the more money they can get from investors. People will be less likely to be scared to invest if they think that something is doing better than it actually is.
Well, and YouTube's this is obviously old news, but YouTube's whole line was, "Oh, we're doing it so that small creators don't feel bad about their dislike ratio." Bitch, first of all, if you're a small creator, you're not getting a lot of views. But second of all, the creators can still see their dislikes. They're just not public. So, like the argument that was what they came out in a press conference and said. We want to protect the mental health of the small channels who might be getting dislikes because of the channel quality.
I'm a console peasant. Here's a connect.
Oh, no.
Red Bull for the win,
I
baby.
had to connect. God hit the connect. That's it.
Oh my God, Connect Boy is back.
But yeah, no, I agree with that. And then the funny thing is, like you said, they said it was about mental illness. but you have the dislikes purely visible in the YouTube studio. So who are you protecting? What do you think? The creator's not going to see the dislikes when they upload their video? That they're not going to check how their video's doing? Of course they're going to see the dislikes.
Yeah,
That
I love
that whole
seeing my
mental
dislikes.
illness
That's how I
excuse was
know if I need
bullshit.
to improve certain
I
things.
mean,
The vast majority of my videos have a solid 80% like. So if I see one that's 50-50 or even worse, I'm like, okay, what did I do? Did I do something wrong, or did I just piss off the leftists? Well, I did one of those two things. I need to use this to learn.
Right.
Well,
right.
the
I
thing
agree
is
with
about
Jenna. Like the
studio.
stream, everybody. Like the stream. We're almost at 100 viewers.
Exactly. Like the stream, because guess what? This is something very big, very profound. I'm going to tell you a YouTube secret that no one has heard before. It doesn't matter if your video gets a ton of likes or dislikes, because the chances are YouTube is going to just show it to everyone no matter what, because to them, either of those two options is engagement, and they like engagement.
They
So
do.
what that means is keep making what you love making and only care about feedback that actually makes sense. If anyone even leaves you feedback. If not, well, try to imagine what you can do better. That's how it works.
Keep
And
on
also-
going and keep
on
on growing.
See?
So
I got
this
it.
this comment right here, I understand what you mean by that. But see, here's the thing with Elizabeth Taylor, number one, that was back at a time when nobody gave a shit. But even if you want to take that out of it, back then it wasn't labeled a docuseries. It wasn't labeled a documentary.
It's
it
a
was labeled a historical drama.
Historical drama, yeah.
It is, and at that point, by their logic, anything goes, because they say, okay, if it's fake, it doesn't matter. The race of the person doesn't matter. The skin color of the person doesn't matter. So by that logic, then nothing matters, and you can make it whatever the fuck you want. And I've said it many times. If they would just relabel this entire show as a historical drama and not a docuseries or documentary, I would not give a fuck. And I think a lot of people wouldn't give a fuck either. Would
No,
Egypt
let's
still
be
be
real.
mad?
A lot of
Yes,
us
they would.
still be bitching because it's still
No,
very,
well,
if they did
thing.
if they made a historical drama and still made Cleopatra black, we would still be saying the same. Okay, they're doing it for diversity pandering. Or I know I would. Would it be
No, I
more
definitely would.
acceptable? Yeah. But
I definitely would, but I'm saying taking it to the next level where you're talking about lawsuits from Egypt.
Gotcha, yeah.
You're talking about an entire fucking country of people being mad at you over an entire movie. There's a big difference between that level of oh, we're freaking out, and then you make one video about, oh, look, another race swap. Fuck Hollywood. Next. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I mean. So this is taking it to the next level because you have labeled it something so blatantly wrong. And that's the problem.
Wakandans' wet dream, ladies and gentlemen. They have to put it into history, because those fuckers were never capable of building a superpower of their own. With our people, it was Britain, France, Germany, tried twice, failed twice, Russia, the United States. I mean, even China was a superpower. The yellow people had their time to shine, but these guys never built a superpower. That's why they're living out their Wakandan wet dream.
And the person who wrote this article, Dragon Slayer, sent me their Twitter profile. It's exactly what you would expect.
Suspects?
Like, it's the usual fucking suspect.
I knew it. Like the
culture writer.
Everything.
That is a job. Culture writer.
Is that what it says? Culture writer.
It says associate culture writer at Slate.
What?
They should.
Got me with the she/her. You got me with the she/her.
I would never have known. I couldn't tell. It looks like that Brittany Griner.
Yeah, I still don't know if that's a man or a woman, to be honest with you.
Bro, what is that picture on her Twitter on the right-hand side? Some woman doing the gang sign.
Where?
Like, look on the banner on the right-hand side.
The fuck is this?
What is she doing?
A Wakandan wet dream.
You're doing Wakanda gang sign.
What is this person playing the air guitar or something? I don't know what she's doing.
The air lutes, to be fair. If we're really historically accurate, it'd be the air lute.
Okay. Sorry. I got to go back in time. My mistake.
Yeah, we got to go back in time, figure out where they got all their bullshit. We also got to ask the big question. I need to find a screenshot of the Julius Caesar that they show in this show, because I have a big pet peeve with this.
I hope he's holding a piece of pizza, because that would make it. That would be perfect.
No, that'd be great if he was.
Is he black?
No. Julius Caesar is white, but the problem is they casted an obviously young looking man with like a super short ass barbershop haircut that would never have existed back in the day. And then they also forgot one crucial thing about him, and that is that the man had a big existential crisis once he started to find out he was balding. And so the obsession was a big deal for him because at that time period, Roman emperors, most of their marble bust, if you will, had them with a bunch of hair, basically. It's like a sign of status and power, whatever you want to think about it. It's all symbolism. And so when he started losing his hair, he became kind of paranoid. Did the use the typical, bald people trick of moving the hair in certain ways so people would notice. But then after a while, it got out of hand. And so instead, in order to circumvent it, he is the one that created the idea where Roman emperors could put on golden circlets with leaves to mask the fact that they were balding. But then other emperors that were not balding adopted it because it made them look cool. It became a sort of a status symbol.
So they started
he has a Middle Earth fade?
head movement.
Was that?
He has a Middle Earth fade in this TV show.
Yeah, look, I'll find a screenshot.
Like the guy from fucking
not a
Rings of Power.
fade, not a fade. I'll show you the cut. Let me find
if
it for you.
If we go back in time, me and Woods will have a great time, and Hypno and Dragon Slayer will not.
No, we would not. We would not. We probably would be serving you. Most likely.
Come back in time. When we invent the time machine, you can come back in time with us. We'll tell people you guys are our slaves, and really behind closed doors we'll be chill with you. But in public, we will have to respect societal norms. Sorry, guys.
Yeah. I'm trying to find a good.
Get those chains ready, Dragon Slayer.
Wait, what? What about chains? Sorry,
they're gonna put us in chains. You know what? We got to switch this up. The white people always on top. We got to switch this up.
Yeah, exactly. Latinos on top. Latino power here. Okay. Screw black power. Okay. Latino power. Come at me.
Be jumping out of a woman's window because you're having an affair with her.
That's terrible.
Oh my god.
We always pick on Mexican Iron Man because he is Latino, but he was born white.
Mexican Iron Man?
Yes, great guy. You should all check out Mexican Iron Man.
I didn't even know.
I think I've seen him post on Twitter. I didn't know. Does he have a YouTube channel or something?
So,
I didn't know that. I've seen his Twitter post. I did not know he was a YouTuber as well.
He looks like a fucking Nazi, like a skin.
That's the haircut they gave him. Unfortunately, I can't find. By the way, look at this big comparison. Okay, This is the one from the Cleopatra show. This is the one from the show that I told you is 10 times better and is more historically accurate. Okay, this makes sense for someone that was in his late 30s, early 40s when he started conquering and was starting to get bald. Now, of course, they kind of don't show too much continuity with the hair, but it doesn't matter. They're historically accurate, at least in the sense that they tell you what's going on. This one, I don't know why they gave him this military haircut.
How did he get that hairstyle?
That would be impossible back in the day. And then also, I think there is one. Let me see. I saw it a second ago.
But the thing is, they don't care, Slayer. That's the thing. They don't care.
This is the one they put him like.
Okay, he really looks like a fucking. He looks like the guy out of what do you call that? Wolfenstein.
He's the holy Roman emperor.
BJ Blazkowicz.
He does look like a guy
I thought he looked like
Wolfenstein.
an older version of that kid from Game of Thrones that everyone hated.
Yeah, he really does look like him, though.
Yeah,
he looks like King Joffrey.
He's not the Roman emperor. He's the holy Roman emperor.
There were plenty of holes in him after he was stabbed 44 times. So
that's pretty amazing.
The holy Roman emperor.
Yes. Why isn't he black though?
Because
clearly he's the bad guy.
Because they are. It's the Roman Empire. We can't.
Who cares?
We cannot be inaccurate with it. They were all Mediterranean.
Black the whole thing. Black the whole thing.
Well, I've got a black pen here, Hypno. We can change his color.
No,
I'm down for that. At this point, Egypt is pissed enough as it is. They don't care. Just black.
Yeah, we need to give him. What are you doing, Ryan?
No.
I'm 2% blackface now. I can get away with it.
No.
Canceled. Ryan's canceled.
Oh my god.
Ryan is canceled.
Oh
my forehead is too big.
I hope that's not permanent. It's gonna be a bitch to wipe off.
Just tell people you were cosplaying. It's like one of those anime.
Look, I can rub a bit of it on, and I look blacker. So.
Oh my god. This is gonna get really terrible.
Dude, and you know what's even crazier is that in real life, the tiara number one, I gotta find a picture of Julius Caesar with his actual tiara, like on the busts. Let me see. I think I can probably find it right off the bat. So this one, well, okay, some of these might be a little bit
It looks like Vladimir
overdone,
Putin.
but to give you an idea, the man would have had basically this. Okay, this is like close enough resemblance,
Mhm.
or this, because the guy was severely balding, as you
Too
can
white.
tell.
He looks
Way
like
too
Bill
white.
Murray there.
Well, I mean, this is like, yeah, this is like National Geographic. There's like a bunch of busts that give different takes on his
Whoa,
face.
holy shit. What the fuck is that?
That's someone who
Vladimir
like
Putin.
used a bust to try to reconstruct his face.
Ouch.
But I mean, I don't know if this is how he actually looked like. They're using like a very messed up statue, so
Mm.
and some of these were over exaggerated to give them like the fine jaw lines and such.
I
So they
think he
look
looks
more
better as a
godly.
statue.
It looks
Yeah,
like what
no,
Family Guy would do to Grand Moff Tarkin
Like
in
this
Star
is a more
Wars.
accurate statue. Okay, this is how he would actually look like.
Yeah.
Okay,
But
so
again, they don't care though. That's
They
the
don't
problem. Like they
care.
don't care. And honestly, I don't care that they don't care. It's just
yeah,
I feel bad because again, an entire country of people is clearly very upset.
I think you're oversimplifying it though. It's more
Yeah.
it's beyond they don't care. They are intentionally changing.
Yeah.
Like
Destroy the
it goes,
culture.
if they didn't care, they'd be like, white, black, whatever, doesn't matter. Just hire the best person for the job. Because if they didn't care, it would just be hiring the best person for the job, which I think is a fine thing to do in fiction. Like no one cares about Black Kingpin. Michael Clark Duncan was an incredible kingpin.
Right.
But the fact that they do care, they care in the opposite direction.
Mm.
Right.
It's very much intentional, and like
Yeah. It's
again,
definitely blatant for sure.
yeah.
But when I say
They-
they don't care, I just mean they don't care about being accurate to anything other than their own personal cause.
No, they
That's all.
actively want to go out of their way to avoid accuracy. Like people can say all they want, complain one way or the other about Black Little Mermaid, whatever. Little Mermaid's a fictional character. I still think it's ridiculous that they've changed the race because it's very obviously done for political reasons. But let's say since she's a fictional character, it doesn't matter. Cleopatra was real. We got to draw the line somewhere. Even Hollywood tards got to draw the line somewhere and realize, hey, if we're going to be making quote unquote historically accurate television, movies, video games, what have you, care a little bit because you're only obviously again they've got an agenda. They want to harm things, but if they were at least if you're going to feign ignorance, be like, oh, we didn't know, sorry.
Right.
And
but so my problem with that though is that when they say it's fictional, it doesn't matter. Clearly it does. First off, otherwise they wouldn't change it. Second
I
off,
agree. By the
about
way,
it
I was just
all the time.
saying the other argument I can see, but yeah,
No,
agree.
yeah, I get
Fiction
it,
does
but-
matter.
But my other issue with this whole argument is that if it doesn't matter, then it should be allowed to go the other way. Whenever it's attempted to go the other way, they always want to say that the blackness of the character is somehow inherent to the character itself. It's important to the character, but the whiteness of the character was never important. It's never matters to the character, has nothing to do with the story. But for some reason, every black character, the blackness of the character is somehow inherent to it, even though it's not. 9 times out of 10, it's not.
It's not just a black thing. The one time I can only think of one instance in recent history, of course, of a character that's of a different race being changed to white, and I say different because it wasn't black. It was the ancient one in the Doctor Strange movie, the first Doctor Strange movie. Well, the ancient one traditionally was a very Asian character. In fact, he was so stereotypically Asian, they changed him to a white woman, and people still threw a fit. I got a buddy who his favorite superhero of all time was Doctor Strange. Now, why that would be anyone's favorite superhero is beyond me, but the point is, he loved Doctor Strange even before the movie. He was a big fan, and when the movie came out, he was pissed at the change to the ancient one. And if I remember right, on YouTube and Facebook comments, things, a lot of people were, because it wasn't. It was just changing a fictional character for political reasons. They thought having an old Asian dude with a big long Fu Manchu would be racist or whatnot. When
Right.
Go watch any Japanese or Chinese film. That's how they even
looked.
in their own cultures. That's how they depict their old grandmasters.
Yeah.
Like, Quentin
Well, I can
Tarantino
do-
did
What are they
it
doing?
in Kill Bill, and it was fine.
I can just take my glasses off and I can be Asian.
Pretty close.
Close
Pretty
enough,
close.
but your eyes are not small enough, Ryan. So you can actually properly see while you're driving down the road.
That's fucked.
You
That
How
need
is
much
fucked.
turn
You need to-
signal I need to
Oh, well,
go
you see-
past 8 lanes?
Hey,
None?
look.
We're talking
Okay.
about the blackness of the character because they always want to say that the whiteness of a character doesn't matter. So if you're going to bring up that conversation, then you should also be able to counter argue that the blackness of a character doesn't matter. So that's why we constantly bring it up, because unfortunately in entertainment in Hollywood right now, 8 out of 10 characters on screen are probably going to be black at this point. So yeah, blackness is going to come up. It's going to be a topic of
Identity
conversation.
politics.
And here's the thing:
We don't
I
bring
would,
it
I
up
would
a
make an
lot, too. They
argument
do
that
it.
it does and it doesn't matter. So, I think that it depends on the context what you're speaking, because technically, 9 times out of 10, the skin color doesn't matter, because let's say you're reading a book and the book doesn't give a description of the character. You're gonna picture them however you picture them. When they make the movie, let's say you picture the character white, the movie comes out, the character's still white, but their hair is different. People are still upset, like, oh, this is not how I imagined it. So people are inherently going to be upset when adaptations are done that change what they thought of the source material. The skin color stuff is an added layer that has only been a major problem in recent history, and it is all political. The problem isn't blackness or whiteness or Mexicanness or anything like that. The problem is the reasoning behind it, and the fact that that those who are creating these projects are acting like, oh, they're just doing it for representation, or they're being innocent or coy about it.
Right.
It's insulting that they think that we, the audience, are so stupid that we do not know what they're actually trying to do. Like, guys, we see it. Like, just own up to it.
They definitely think
Very
the audience is
talented.
stupid, and you can tell by the way they create their movies and TV shows now. They kind of like hold your hand almost to a point, and they lead you through like, okay, we're going to this part now. Come along, folks. And it's like,
They
can't
feel
even
more
figure
like
it out
video
anymore.
games at this point. Movies
It's
feel like video
ridiculous.
games. Like, all right, here is your next quest. Go
That's a
here.
good point.
And all right, you got here. Here is next
That was
quest. Here is next-
Mandalorian.
Dude, I didn't even watch Mando
was the
season 3.
Mandalorian, dude.
It's just
Apparently, a lot of
Hey.
people didn't watch Mandalorian season 3.
No, dude,
I
season
did
1
like
was
an
good.
idiot and
Season
reviewed
2
it.
was fine. Book of Boba Fett was awful. Anything after
Yeah.
Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan was so bad, I gave up. I stopped. You know what I did?
Yeah.
A couple weeks ago, me and my dad went to the 40th anniversary re-release of Return of the Jedi, and guess what? That was awesome. That was Star Wars as I remember. It was the special edition, but that was Star Wars as I remember, and it was great. It was fantastic. Also, it wasn't. Disney made money off that. Like, I don't like giving money to Disney.
Yeah.
But how often are you going to get to see the 40th anniversary of Return of the Jedi in theaters? But that's the most recent Star Wars thing I'd watched since Obi-Wan Kenobi. Because they
Shout
I
out
just
to
don't care.
Alo Santos for $2. Says Egypt offended. Look for Brazilian in Street Fighter. I'm assuming you meant to say.
Yeah, I think he was trying to say Street Fighter.
Yeah.
Unless he's saying Saint Fighter, which I've never.
Never heard of that. I'm going to assume it's Street Fighter, but I could very well be wrong. But it's a good segue into the next conversation, because since you brought up Mandalorian and Disney, Mandalorian was Disney's poster
God.
child. That was their thing, right? That was
Yeah,
that was what was initially supposed to sell Disney Plus, right? And it did in the beginning, I would imagine.
It works. Like, for me, it worked. The first season of Mando, I genuinely
Yeah.
consider to be a solid 7.5 out of 10, which is still leaps and bounds better than any of the previous films.
Right. But now apparently Disney Plus lost 4 million subscribers in their latest quarterly drop. Now they're trying. That's rough. But so they're trying to blame this on the loss of contract in India, which, don't get me wrong, it's probably a good amount. I would imagine it's India, but to blame all of it on that, I think is very insincere. It's very obvious that is not the only reason why you are losing all of this money. And Mandalorian is a good showcase of this, because the 3rd season has over 400 million minutes less than every other season prior before it watched, which is a big sign for Disney and the Mandalorian as a whole. Because again, Mandalorian was supposed to be their poster child, right? And they're reinvesting in Star Wars. Like they're doubling, tripling down on it. They're bringing, and I kept saying it. That's why I didn't watch Andor. I didn't watch Mandalorian. I didn't watch anything that came off of Star Wars. I think I watched like 1 episode, 2 episodes of Kenobi, and I said, fuck this, and walked away. But the reason why is because they're always going to go back to Rey. That's the point. Like, if you hate Star Wars and where it's at right now because of what they did with the latest 3 movies and Rey, well, you watching the shows is not going to do anything, because they're just going to double back right to Rey. Everything is going to go right back to Rey, and now she's rebuilding the entire Jedi Order again, right back to Rey. She's going to be the savior. She's going to be everything, and I just don't understand I mean, I get it. People love Star Wars. They
Hey,
always will.
Hypno.
But good.
Hypno,
So-
look, just pray to God that they do not actually go ahead and touch the Old Republic. If they do, I am going to
There's already
kill
Old
them.
Republic stuff in development. If rumors are to
They're
be
going
believed.
to. They're going
Dude,
to.
it-
They're going to.
Cancel it though. You know why? Because they are now placing all of their hopes on freaking.
Yeah, how can you go back to the Old
Alphalite
Republic
and
with what they
Ahsoka.
did to the Mandalorian's history? And
Mm.
again, I haven't seen season 3,
Right.
but from what I heard, they destroyed the Mandalorian's history. Well, how are you going to go do the
They
Old
did.
Republic
They
if
did.
that because the Mandalorian history very important to the Old Republic?
Hey, look, Leon.
They
let me
don't
tell you
exactly care
something.
about
Like,
continuity, by the way.
They
It's just
do
showing
not
that.
like the spear.
Also, like the stream, guys. Like the stream, guys.
Like the stream. Yes, like the stream, because you know what? I'm gonna tell you guys something. If you guys didn't watch Book of Boba Fett, guess what? Tough shit. You will never find out why Mando cannot use this damn spear. And like me, you'll be wondering for 8 episodes, why the fuck is the idiot not drawing out a spear to save everyone's lives? And then you find out that in one of the 2 episodes of Book of Boba Fett, the asshole thought it was a great idea to give in to the armorer's demands to let her smelt the damn thing to make some armor for Grogu in like the 4th episode or 3rd, I think it was, of the season. A spear that can literally bypass most shields and deflect the lightsaber like as if it was another one and easily pierce any armor. Melt it. Fuck it. Because
they
we
don't
cannot
care,
have
dude.
we cannot have a weapon more powerful than a lightsaber, because then everyone's gonna be asking questions of, well, damn, why couldn't he have killed Moff Gideon and all the stormtroopers like it was nothing? Well, because his overpowered weapon is gone. Like that's
They want to tell the story the way they want to tell it, plain and simple.
Yeah.
And they want to reimagine it.
You're being
And
very
th-
generous calling this a story, my friend.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's kinda
I
it was
know I am,
generous.
but I have to use specific words, I guess. But yeah, they want to retell this the way
Fan
they want to
fiction.
retell it, and before they can do that, they have to kind of tear down what once was. Which is why they didn't just reboot the whole thing in the first place. They wanted to make sure that you saw the previous version of Star Wars get completely fucking wrecked in every way imaginable, and then they're gonna bring their own story. They don't want to just come out with a reboot. Nobody would care as much.
I was thinking about this recently, and I don't know why, myself included, anyone was surprised by this. Let's take a look at the Disney princess movies, the fairy tales, the Cinderellas, the Snow Whites. Those were all Brothers Grimm stories that, let's be honest, very different than the Disney counterparts. Disney's used to tearing down stories to tell their own version. I don't know why none of us saw this coming with Star Wars.
Oh, I
I mean,
definitely did.
yeah, but Star Wars is kind of different. At least Brothers Grimm, the tales are like hundreds
Clearly
of
not
years
for
old and
children.
they're dark.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're also extremely dark. Like they're made to scare the shit out of people's kids so they don't do anything stupid.
Right.
So that was their purpose.
The power
they
of German
wanted,
storytelling.
yeah, exactly. They wanted to make them into more lighthearted stories to get people to learn the same values at the time period.
It
But-
works.
and it
Like, a lot of the old Disney, like my favorite Disney movie of all time. Well, actually, it's Toy Story. My second favorite of all time is Pinocchio. That's from the 40s. I think it came out in 46 or something. It still holds
Yeah.
up. I rewatched the original Pinocchio literally a few months ago. And it's only a little over an hour, so it doesn't hold up in terms of like if you want to watch something movie length, because movies weren't as long back then. But beyond that, the animation's still gorgeous. The lesson, if anything, the lesson's more poignant now than it has been in God knows how many decades. Pinocchio is fantastic. I haven't even attempted that garbage live action reboot that looked like nightmare fuel. The moment they said the fairy godmother is, what do they call it? A drag queen. I was like, well, I'm out. That kind of goes against the moral, the storytelling.
They made her a drag queen?
In the ads, it was definitely a black dude in a dress with fairy wings.
A channing demon. My
I
God.
never even saw it, and now
Oh, hold on. Let me see if I can find a picture. One
Quick.
sec.
Quick shout out to, we got a lot of people watching on Rumble right now. Make sure you guys like the stream on Rumble as well. I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much. Go ahead, find whatever you're going to find.
Look, I was gonna say this. Like, it's even crazier. Moff Gideon getting freaking like Warhammer 40k power armor, like Beskar power armor. Like that sounds awesome, but then you remember that this is the last episode. They're just throwing an extra difficulty slider for the boss because they need an end game boss, but they don't give our hero the weapon he needs during questing. So we basically have our hero getting into a slugfest, getting punched by dude wearing power armor and acting like nothing is happening. Like he just didn't get hit with a truck. Then Bo-Katan, like it's freaking Naked Gun, comes
There
in
it was, yeah.
and headbutt slams him with the rocket bag. I was dying laughing when I saw that, dude.
Oh,
that was
that- that-
hilarious.
I thought there it is. Yeah,
Oh yeah, I know
Hey,
this.
it's RuPaul.
Yeah.
yeah.
It's
That,
yeah.
that was.
RuPaul,
I saw
basically.
that, and I was like, nope. That's
Demon.
I gotta admit, this
Demon.
this movie kind of came and went really fast. Like it was
Nobody
kind of like a
noticed.
fart in the wind. Like people were mad about the fairy, but then just like I think they talked about it for maybe a few days,
yeah.
and then it kind of just disappeared.
Pinocchio doesn't have like the same history as Peter Pan. Like I feel like I'm in the minority of very few people who would call this their favorite Disney movie. But yeah, the original Pinocchio is, again, not counting Toy Story because it's more Pixar. Original Pinocchio is my favorite Disney movie. So, but do you ever hear anyone else say that? Why did they jump to remaking this one? How many people? It's a very niche audience, the original, let alone doing a modern remake. Like Peter Pan, I can understand why they remade that. I don't know why they thought it would work, considering.
Still waiting on the viewership numbers, mind you.
Yeah. Oh, it's streaming. You think we will ever get viewership numbers?
Nope. But real quick, shout out to Casey. Do your intro, Casey.
What up? What up? What up, family? I finally made it on. What up, niggas?
There you go. All right.
Yes,
Damn.
we
Casey.
are
Casey,
now.
did you
swear
see-
Yes.
I got the N-word pass today, Casey. They gave
I
it to me.
heard yes, that's why I
I'm
said
so
it.
excited.
Y'all
This is
know
great.
I never use that word. I don't use that word filming. Let me just put it that way. And but I kept hearing like, yeah, well, one of them can say it, and I got the pass and everything. I was like, I'm coming on, and I almost hard ER'd, but I was afraid that they were going to take away your live stream. So I was like, I'm not
attempted
gonna do
Yeah,
that.
I would not RR that for sure.
Yeah,
Not even you, but it's all right. Let's not do that.
I've hard ER'd. Trust me, I've hard.
No, I know. Just not on the stream. Not on the stream.
No.
But
Yeah.
welcome.
What's up, y'all? What's up?
Um,
Made it.
Yeah, but I do
What
remember this.
is the
I remember when they did
disgusting
this.
thing
It's
on the
old. It's old.
screen?
This is like, it's stupid stuff. We were just talking about everything
It's
going on right
RuPaul.
now. It's just terrible.
I'm
Blue
glad
Paul.
I'm
It's
glad I
Blue
never
Paul.
knew this happened.
Well, yeah,
I'm
Blue
glad I
Paul.
never knew this
Sorry,
happened.
RuPaul's cousin that nobody knew about.
It's
that's
just
funny.
ugly. God forget. Oh,
I mean,
it's
look,
been a long
man.
day.
At least RuPaul. You know, you got look. At least let me tell you something. At least RuPaul, I can actually respect him in the sense that if you know his backstory, at least the man grew up through that whole rough era of like the 80s and the 90s where being
When
gay
life was a
terrible.
drag.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Nice,
Where life
nice.
was tough, and then the man toughened up and still got the shit he wanted to get done, and then built a business off of it. That's
frankly,
inspirational. And then
The
he
early
even
versions
admits,
of his show pretty
Yeah,
fun and entertaining because it wasn't super like if you watch early seasons of RuPaul's Drag Race, it's just entertaining, mindless, dumb fun. It's not quality by any means, but it's super. This is
But it's
before all this
fun.
shit was politicized, and so I can enjoy some early RuPaul's Drag Race. while being
exactly.
legit.
It's a gay man who admits he likes cross dressing, and he is fine with it.
Yeah.
You know what?
Unlike some other people, I think they
Right,
have
but here's the
opinions
thing, right? Like
automatically.
before, it wasn't jammed down your throat so much, and maybe
Mhm.
that is the reason why. Because then they walked us into this situation slowly. Because like before, there was this guy, I forgot his name, Mac Daddy. That's his name. His name is Mac Daddy,
Mac Daddy.
and this was back. I know this was back in like because I was still a leftist. I didn't know I was. I'm gonna say like 2015, 2016, and he was beating his face with Mac products, and that's why they called him Mac Daddy. And I used to like I got one of his palettes that he did for Morphe, and I was like, I don't care. Like at the time, I was like, whatever, right? Like at least
When you said Mac products, I thought you were talking about McDonald's, like Big Mac. It took
Wow.
until you said pallets. I'm like, wait
Look,
a second.
no, you
Big
don't talk
Mac
every
is
right,
McDonald's is black cousin.
I know, but yeah,
Sorry,
Mac,
go
but
on.
he was really good with fusing. I mean, I can't even front. He was good, and there was another one who used to do Beyonce's makeup, and he was good too. So, and we used to go to the gays for makeup. Like for my 25th birthday, I had a gay man totally like, beautify me, right? it wasn't forced down your throat so much, but
Mhm.
I'm at a point now where I know for me, I'm like, I don't even want to get involved with that anymore because it's taken a whole nother turn. And that's a shame, right? Because like the guy who beat my face, right? He's a good person. He's not asking about all this, or whatever, but it gets to a point where it's just too much. It's just too. I mean, did you see the Levi's ad? It's a straight man wearing a jean dress. How am I supposed to know how that's supposed to look on me?
Well, that's the thing, and
Well, to
I
be
say it
fair,
all
the
the time.
entire
Women,
dress is jeans. Then it's gonna look bad on you. It's gonna look bad on anyone. No one should be wearing a jean dress, like male or female.
But they're bringing
That's the
back the
thing.
90s, so
I can't
we
believe
dig.
Hey,
but still,
look,
they don't really care, man. They
don't.
want to showcase what they want to showcase, and we keep saying it all the time because it's true. They don't. You think they really give a shit about making sure that, especially
know.
now, that women are represented in media, which is hilarious to me because the whole
What does that
like
even
where are
mean?
where are the feminists, bro? Like where are they? The loudest fucking people in the world for every other topic, but on the one topic that they should be loud on, all of a sudden they want to shut up and be quiet.
Well, because
Birdie
they
Well,
don't-
they
scared them
don't want to get
away.
canceled, or they can't be loud about everything else.
Exactly. Like they care about being canceled. They have borderline personality disorder. So for them being a woman, right? It's like that trumps everything, right? No, it doesn't trump everything. It doesn't. Women are just as equal as men. That is an absolute lie, and it's actually unnatural to say something like that. What I see men do, I can't do that, and there's certain things women can do that men can't do. Right? That's that's the beauty of it, right? But these people, these feminists, they're just paid shills. It's easy. Like if I was the typical black girl, like boss, yes, my YouTube channel probably would have been somewhere 22,000, whatever, or who knows, right? They definitely would have pushed me, but it's just.
But
that's
you're
so
intelligent and
fake.
don't want to play a stereotype for
Yeah.
views. Like, let's be real.
yeah.
It's so fake. It really is absolutely fake, and these people don't know who they are, but they know when not to take a stand. You know what I mean? They know when not to take a stand. Maybelline, yeah. I mean, they put Dylan Mulvaney with Maybelline. Like, come on, y'all doing too much.
Damn, that's
Tranny
quite
demons
the.
helping tranny demons.
Hey, look! What a great way to show women the great wonderful effect makeup can have on you, than putting it on someone that when he puts it on looks like a complete fucking clown.
But a 5
Okay.
o'clock fucking shadow too on top of that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Quick shout out to Dash Attack. For $5 says I did a poll on Twitter if virtue signaling causes hemophobia, and it got a resounding yes. The activists are making people more intolerant.
I think that's
Yeah.
supposed to be
homophobia?
homophobia, but
I
good
know,
one,
it is
Dash.
anti-
Because hemophobia,
Homophobia
like
is the fear of blood.
blood.
Yeah. Yeah, I was
Are
a
they
little
I went
confused there
right
too.
They're afraid of
No, but I get
vampires
what
taking your
I get what
blood.
Dash
People
is
see
saying. Yes.
blood, just start dropping N bombs. Like,
Thanks for that, Dash.
But
Thank
like, I
you.
mean, seriously, because all of it is just being shoved down people's faces so much. It's like, you need to love this, you need to love this, you need to. So after a while, people are like, I'm not standing next to a Bud Light can. Yeah, I love it. I
But
absolutely love it.
the other problem for me is that they like to say, "Oh, well, we're just existing. Do you have a problem with us just existing?" No, I have a problem with you constantly being in my face. You're the person who's saying, "Oh, I'm just existing," but you're yelling at my face literally the entire time for minutes on end, days on end, with everything in modern media, and then at the same time, you're telling me you're not doing it. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like I'm poking you without poking you, kind of a thing.
yeah,
Yeah.
if a straight white dude was sitting there shouting, "I'm existing," that would be equally as annoying. Like, trust
Right.
me, it ain't about
Oh,
the
God,
fact
yeah,
that
it
you
would
know
be.
you're queer or whatever. Stop screaming you exist. There's 8 billion people in the world. A
Or you
lot of them
won't
exist.
exist.
We ain't got to hear about all of them.
If there was a straight white dude running around yelling "I like fucking bitches" 24/7, I would be just as annoyed.
I would
I'm serious.
That's what
actually.
Spike
I
TV
would
used to be.
annoyed.
I never
Okay,
watched
I
it.
would probably be happy.
I mean,
I'm not gonna.
look,
And it was so great. I would enjoy every minute. I would retweet
wait,
it. and
what?
everything.
Wait a minute.
Seriously, because
I need to clarify this real quick.
Hmm.
If I heard some dude like just yelling that in the open air,
Hmm.
the first thing I would do is, of course, show him support by saying "Hell yeah, brother!" And then after that, if he kept repeating it, I'll be like, "You fucking dingleberry, could you fucking stop now?"
With that
there's a
same
certain-
accent, huh?
Well,
I
I'm
know.
sorry.
Here, drink a Bud Light. You get a little angry when you're thirsty.
Well, look, I'm sorry. I could have gone a little bit deeper like this. You know, I drink my Bud Light. I also drive my Ford F-150 pickup truck.
Hey,
I heard they came out with
Ford
another ad. Is
I
that
have
true?
a Ford.
Wait, what?
I heard they came out with another ad. Is that true?
Yeah, it's
A what?
just a typical, this is America.
No, they
this
didn't.
bear
Seriously?
right here represents what America's all about: community and unity, and everything else that we as Bud Light have always represented to all fellow rednecks and all country people that
know,
drink our piss
communism
formula
to me.
of a beer. That's
Here's the
literally
thing.
it. Is the same thing like last time. They're just trying to repeat it.
Please, somebody find a commercial. But in the meantime, this is for me what I think Bud Light, but it might be too late now. They literally would have to just have somebody come on the screen and be like, "Look, y'all, we messed up and we're sorry."
They would need to have. They
Yeah,
would need to
that's
have
true.
like a
We give them
manly-looking
that.
Southern
And they
man.
need
Just
they
say,
need to be but they need to be like, listen, we took the face off the can. We actually worked on the formula too, because during the dish, the tax and how you guys, letting us know how y'all felt. But we heard that it tastes like piss water. We tasted it actually does. So we fixed that. And listen,
How do you
Now,
confirm
they
that
should-
though?
they should
the
be real
original
and be like, and
formula.
look, and at the end,
This
you're
time
not
it
gonna
don't
be
taste
gay
like
if you
piss.
drink our beer. They should say that at the end.
They
But how do
should
you
say-
confirm that
No,
it tastes like piss water without actually knowing what piss water tastes like? Like you can't.
Well, people will
Yeah.
probably go taste it to find, but they have to go. They got to go full steam ahead and be like, "Listen, guys, I get the stigma. You're not gonna be gay if you drink our beer," and like make a little joke about it or something, maybe. But
I
also
found the
say
commercial.
sorry.
Look, fellas,
They
you
need
gotta
to treat it
find
like
out.
a YouTuber apology, come out with a deep sigh. So
Yeah.
we recently we made some mistakes, and yeah, no, you guys were right. I'd like to sincerely apologize. We've dumped the tranny. Like
No, we need.
They got to start off screen too. They got to walk to their
Yeah.
chair,
make sure they're
sit
carrying
down,
the dog.
sigh.
in a
Yeah,
barely
like-
lit room.
There you go.
They should like wave a white flag.
That's good.
Exactly.
That's good.
And they
I,
should wave a white
I found the
flag.
commercial.
Apologizing.
I found the
Don't fuck
commercial.
this
Hold on. I found the
Oh
commercial.
man,
Oh shit! What is this?
what? No,
Look at that fish shimmering in the
bro,
sun.
who threw that JPEG in the bottom?
Bet you caught one.
That's a JPEG of Bud Light.
I can't take it. You put a JPEG.
Catfish, heaviest in the sea. You'd win first prize if you caught
Baby,
me. Why
quiet.
is
Bud
everybody on
Light
the internet
sincerely and
so
solemnly
mean?
declare
Alright.
that we do not
Yeah.
support this ad. It is not one of our ads.
Never seen.
The chat going crazy.
The chat.
I saw me. Floating around and singing that song. I say, damn, they're cute and sing along.
I almost
even
thought
like
they were
her.
gonna smooch on
I gotta
camera.
give
Yeah.
Dylan Mulvaney some credit. Sitting next to Ursula, he actually
I
looks
just-
kind of
did I-
normal. Like
I just said he's just using her big ass.
It's nothing unlike that that Jabba the Hutt clip, What was that? Oh my god, dude, look. I was gonna tell you something, like they're gonna come out and they'll get like this manly sounding dude with like this southern drawl, and he's gonna be talking about how Bud Light, again, like I said earlier, they're gonna repeat the same crap all over and over again. It'll be like, it's all about community and about America. We represent freedom at its brightest. And no, we do not support the tranny mob. We made a mistake, and we please ask all of you shit posters to please stop your bickering. We are going to remove the
It's not
tranny.
gonna work.
We
Tell him.
never made
I
an
just
offer.
saw the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. man.
What?
Oh, God,
Oh my
I'm scared.
god.
You know, I'm
What?
pulling up some
I'm
stuff.
crying, bro.
I'm
This
scared.
is
He's crying.
great stuff, man.
I'm
This is
terrified.
fucking great.
Oh, yeah. What is this? Who made this?
Oh
Why
my
look
god,
like
I
a train
can't.
and Ryan at the same time?
I'm crying, man. Oh god. Oh my god, I'm
made
literally
this?
crying. I'm so done. I'm done.
That's you.
I'm done with this world.
I want that
Fact that they made his hair blacker than it already is, and they made him
Right.
a light skin.
Oh my
Black
god.
man. I mean, they did work on
incredible.
those lips too.
Oh.
Like they gave him the classic blackface on
I
it.
I can't believe I just saw this. This is
I
fucking
must save
incredible.
this picture.
You look like a BLM
Yeah, that's
protester
right.
who
He
would
needs
get
to use
arrested
that.
for beating his like baby mama. That's amazing.
Do I look like a good
Who-
Michael
Who
Jackson
made this?
impersonator?
You must show us who made this.
no,
They
Michael
deserve
Jackson.
credit.
I'm gonna, yeah, I gotta bring him up real quick.
Core
God, man.
member,
So hold on.
thank you.
Now, if that same
That was
person does one of
unexpected.
Casey though, would they make her white? I want to know what the reverse would be.
We have our own
Uh-oh.
legion of memers. I swear. I feel like this is
Oh God!
This
Core-
is
it's
fucking
core.
great.
It's
Somebody else
core.
made
Of
this.
course, it's core.
core member.
Oh,
Love it, man. Thank you
oh
for
my
that. That is
God.
awesome.
That's
I
hot.
hope
I'm
Crazy
scared of the memes he'll make about me now.
Can't
Like,
stop
holy
laughing, bro.
shit.
God, Jesus.
If this is how far he went with Ryan, I'm scared for me.
Yeah, man.
I
You gotta. Can you race swap everybody if you're watching core member? I'm sure you
Oh,
are. Can
yes.
you race swap everybody?
I'm pretty versatile.
And then
Please
make
do.
it animated, and then I'm gonna use it in thumbnails. I promise you.
But
Every
you
Hey,
make
time.
me
special
do it.
request. If I could be Asian, I've always wondered what that would be like.
Yeah.
Like
That would be hilarious.
Make me a ginger, please. I used to try
Anti
to.
Pants
actually get
Pikachu
that
says for $1.99, Ryan looks better in blackface. Is that racist?
color. Oh my god. No.
I don't think
Oh my
technically it is because it has a
It just
Netflix
says that
logo, so you
Ryan-
can't
No,
do it.
no, Ryan, stop. You can't get that off.
I can. I did
Bro.
it last time.
All it takes
Oh, you
is
did it
just
last time.
that's great. Just
The
put the Netflix
pronounced-
logo and you're absolved of racism.
Dude,
Okay,
the
good.
net the
that's
the
gonna make my
freaking-
videos so much
Let's
easier
go.
now that I think about it. I'm just gonna put
Yeah.
a Netflix splash down the bottom, and I'm gonna get away with so much shit.
Oh yeah,
I'm Michael
100%.
Jackson now.
Literally
I can be
just
black
say-
and white.
Yeah.
That's great.
Oh my god. Dude, look, just say the most like literally all you have to say is just put in your title something referencing Wakanda Forever or racial pandering and then say that's all the show is about
Hmm.
and then just say it's trash. Always
Yeah.
put the word trash or boring or some extremely
I
hard
use
negative
slammed a lot.
word.
I use the all caps slam.
Exactly,
quite a
just
bit.
all caps it all. Like just be just basically become the ultimate
What do you
title
use a
ho.
lot? Slam.
Yeah, slam.
Yeah.
Like, oh, critics slammed for whatever.
Yeah, like you literally have to do it like that. Like literally for
That is funny to hear. Like I like
Dude.
hearing people's little like things.
hey,
they do.
look,
Quick shout out to Michelle Romeo, really fast. Member for 2 months says she thinks her neighbors think she's crazy because she laughed out loud so loud just now. Right.
Dude, if it makes you feel any better in the chat, one time I had the neighbors call the police on me when I was like 12 years old because a Resident Evil game scared me. I screamed so loud at like 2 a.m.
I can see that.
Like Nemesis
The-
burst through the window of in Resident Evil 3 of the Stars building, and I screamed, and like 20 minutes later, cops were at the door. It was,
Stop it.
Nice.
My
yeah,
can
fucking
definitely
we
see
actually
that
have
happen.
our Legion of Memers. Apparently, core member is part of that.
Yeah, I think
Good.
so.
Yeah.
I
We
think
have
we
our Legion of
officially
Memers.
have our Legion of Memers. Yep. So
Oh my god,
we're
dude,
growing
look
up,
at the
folks.
other.
We're growing up.
So
Look at
cool.
the,
So
look
wait,
at
real
the
quick, if
freaking,
I can, because
look at
Okay,
the
Casey,
Joe
go ahead.
Biden
Casey, go
one.
ahead.
Birds of Paradise.
yes.
So that's a real parrot. Yes, it is. It's moving.
Yeah. This
Now,
is,
let
this
me.
is
First
Hondo.
of all, he's absolutely adorable. Is a boy.
Yeah, well, I think he might. We thought he was a boy at first. I have to
Transgender.
get him DNA tested to know for sure. I think he might actually be a woman since he's so attached to boys. But I just tell people, he's sexist.
So
That's why he
cute.
doesn't like girls.
I used to have one like that when I was a little girl, but believe it or not, I really did. But let me just say, I think it's beautiful, but it's definitely some white people shit.
Definitely.
Oh
Yes,
my
right
god.
That's fair.
That's what's up. I love. Oh my god,
I love
But
this
I love
one.
It. I think that your parrot is very beautiful. God, can you get this? This woman gets on.
I
my
love
nerves.
want
this
Netflix
one.
show now.
She gets.
and
on
I
I
my
love
want
the
to
Joe
be played
Biden
by
one
a
though.
black
Like
street
that one is
talk.
great. You know,
You need to get
just-
in their faces, and if you see them eating in public, you get in there. Talking about like Trump supporters, you need to get in their faces and tell them they're not wanted here. I'm like, girl, if you don't shut the I
These
dare you to get in
impressions
my
are
face.
scary accurate. The impressions are scary accurate, Casey. Are you sure you're not related to Maxine
No,
Walters
I
now?
absolutely am not related to Maxine Waters.
Oh,
Though
damn.
there
I
are
hope
people in
not.
my family who do act like Maxine Waters, I'm like the black sheep of my family.
Dang.
Literally?
Yeah, I was gonna say
The
black
white sheep of your family.
Black
Casey.
sheep. How does that work?
Boom.
You should be the white sheep.
No, but yeah, I've been kind of disowned by a few family members. It's okay. It's not a
We
problem.
accept you. It's
Bro,
okay.
Thank you. I have better family
OnlyFans,
now.
bro. Oh God, Core, man, you're
That
gonna
was so
kill us
funny.
on
That shit
stream one
completely
day.
that shit completely derailed me. But let's talk about this now. So this is something Words of Paradise brought up, and I made a video on this already, but it's important. So Peter Pan and Wendy review bombing causes Rotten Tomatoes to remove the low score. Basically, they removed the
Yeah, I
audience
saw
score
that.
completely.
No,
There's actually
really?
a picture. Yeah, there's a
Wow.
picture that showcases it right here. That they removed it completely. Now, I think they put it back. Actually, I'm gonna check right now. Let's see. Peter
Mhm.
Pan
Oh, well.
and Wendy. Right. I think they put it back.
It doesn't change the
Um,
fact that people hate it. So
It is back. Yep, it is back, and
It's
it's at
at 12%,
12%. Yep.
even lower than last time.
Last I saw was 20%. Damn.
Now
I
it
saw
keeps going down.
16 when we talked about it on the last stream. It was at 16, so that
It
is
keeps going down.
insane.
But
It's gonna go down.
you're not going to like if the more you try to silence something, the more you try to keep information away from people, the more they're going to seek it.
Is that not how almost anyone on YouTube, like all of us, got started? We saw the attempts at silence and thought, "Fuck
Yeah.
that, can't let it
Yep.
stand." Now we will add our
100%.
voices. Like you were
Mhm.
literally, we wouldn't exist if you didn't do dumb shit like this. Rotten Tomatoes, you created us.
And now
Yeah, you do.
there's so many of us that now they're trying to come up with ways to try to discredit us. You know, that's where the whole review bombing stuff came into play.
It's
you
the
know?
establishment versus what I like to call the alliance of alternatives. It's us versus them. And if the establishment did its job properly, kept the peace, ensured prosperity, and entertained the people, and to stand for the people, then the alliance of alternatives wouldn't need to exist. So that's
You know
why
what's crazy?
the present
Um,
conflict exists.
You know, the insane part about that, Ryan, is that now that you mentioned that,
Mhm.
I decided to do some things for comparison.
Oh.
And it seems that Peter Pan and Wendy has
Mhm.
a lower Rotten Tomatoes score on both the critic and the audience side
Mhm.
than Rings of Power.
damn.
That's
It's
saying
actually
a lot.
it's actually the lowest rated Disney
Yeah.
live action, I believe.
Yes. It's
God.
It was so boring.
Rings of Power. It's yeah.
It was so boring. And then what made me so upset was that I watched that movie and didn't make it to the live the next day. So I was like, 2 hours of my life, I can't get it back. And I, was tortured.
Yeah.
I did
get
the
you.
homework and couldn't make it to the live. That movie was so. First of all, I can't stand the. Let me just say my piece because I
Sure.
I need to vomit this out.
Go
because-
ahead. Go ahead.
Like, but it was like they were all in the same environment, and Hypno, you said it, like the colors, like it was just this bland hill, and this bland and then at nighttime they were in a bland cave or whatever, right?
It was all
So
the
when
same
you-
color. It was like greens and yellows, basically.
Yes, but when you think about Neverland, when I was a little girl, first of all, when I thought about Neverland, I just imagined it to be everything that kids want, right? That's number one. Number two, when they did Hook with Robin Williams and Dustin Hoffman, and when Peter goes back to Neverland, but he's Robin Williams, he's an adult. It is exactly what you expect out of a Neverland, like mad colors, mad fun. They got skateboarding, they're playing basketball. And then there's a moment where, because Peter's hungry, but he doesn't remember how to use his imagination. So they tell him, "Oh yeah, look at all this food," and then they acting like they eat, and then he's like, "There's nothing here," and he's like getting upset. But then one day he finally gets into it because he's like making fun of Rufio, and then he sits down and then he imagines that he takes some sort of cream or something. And he's like, "Hey, Rufio, something, something, something." And then he throws it at him. And then all of a sudden you see the colors and you see the pastries. And then he's like, "Whoa, what's going on?" He's like, "You're doing it." They're like, "You're using your imagination." And I'm like, I remember being a kid, like, "Oh my God, look at this piece." You know, like it was exciting.
It was exciting, yeah.
I'm sorry. Yeah, okay. Like, yeah,
No, that was honestly that was one of the this entire stream so far. Hour and a half in. That might be the most beautiful thing that's sentiment that's been on the stream yet tonight. So
thank
Why
you.
is Peter
No, but she's
Pan
right. She's
Indian?
right though. It was
Because
exciting to watch that.
I
though,
love Hook so much. I bought the DVD as an adult and then jammed the DVD. That's how much I used to watch it. It is something that even an adult can get into, and you felt like you were a kid again watching it. If that makes, I mean, it sounds cliche, but it just is so good.
Hmm.
This
no,
right
to be
here.
fair, I mean, I think everyone has movies like that takes them back to like their comfort movies. Most of the time being kids films. Doesn't matter if you're 30, 60, 21, whatever. You go back to
Right.
something that might not necessarily be good. Because let's be honest, Hook is not a good movie. I love it, but it's not technically a good movie when you look at how it's structured and whatnot. But it's a very comforting movie. But notice how all the movies that people go back to for comfort are like 20 or more years old at this point. Can anyone name a movie prior to, let's say, 2007 that they would consider a comfort movie?
Right.
Mine is Treasure Planet. By the
That's
way.
a fantastic film.
Oh,
well, actually,
that is
it's
I've
great.
heard that. I've never seen it though.
I'm scared for Treasure Planet. If they ever make a live adaptation, I think Ryan will be the
Well,
angriest one.
that was the last, in my view, that was the last truly Disney animated film, because I don't think Disney wanted that film to succeed. It had a very
no, they did not. There's,
That
in
was
fact, there's an
Pixar, right? Or was it
incredible
Disney?
YouTube video breaking down how it was
Oh, yeah,
basically
look at it.
guaranteed to flop from the beginning.
Mm.
I'll go a little bit further. I will say the last genuinely good animated movie from Disney, I will go as far as Tangled. I even though it's CGI,
Mhm.
it was when
Oh,
it was
yeah.
when Disney, because it wasn't Pixar that did it, it was Disney and CGI. They weren't overdoing everything. Oh, the same characters over, like same character design over and over. It was really new, fresh. It was no different than what Disney had done with Snow White 80 years earlier. They used this new technology to usher in a whimsical children's story. I genuinely love Tangled and think that Disney still had some sort of heart and magic at the time. And I was in my late teens, I was like 18 or so when that came out, give or take,
Never
17,
seen
18.
Tangled.
So, well beyond my years of like loving Disney movies.
I remember Lion King was probably, I feel like for me, the last one is Lion King. I mean, like I like Moana, but the last one was Lion King for me. I mean, everything about the movie was just like I'm going back to being a kid. We were gassed when we heard that movie was coming out and they were showing you like how they use the lions and they're going back and they're drawing everything. It was like, oh my God, what is this happening? Like Elton John. Like what kid gets excited about Elton John?
So no, when you say drawing, this is actually a perfect description of why Disney is different now and why so when Bambi came out years upon years ago, I've told the story before, but when Bambi came out, they had never really done animal movies at the time, so the animators didn't know really how to draw animals. So Walt Disney had baby deer flown in so that the animators could study their movements. Can you imagine Disney doing something like that now, putting that much love and care into a project, flying animals in to study the movements, they can be accurately done, painstakingly? But Disney don't give a fuck about that now. They'll just CGI it and move on because the heart isn't there.
I got some bad news. This is an article from last November. There's not much to be known, but I'm sorry to.
There we go.
Yeah,
Here we go.
And here's the thing. Here's the thing. Wait, before you guys say anything, let me tell you something. How I came about finding this. I was just hearing you guys talk about Treasure Island and all that stuff, how great it is, and then I was thinking in my head, my God, let me just do a random search, and then I put Disney Atlantis live action, and then the first thing that popped in was this damn article letting me know that apparently on November of 2022, they announced that there is a live action remake in early development.
The Atlantis isn't even...
and there's no other news articles about it. That's just
I think it's safe to say if something was animated by Disney at any point in the past, it's going to get a live action at this point. I think it's safe to say that
Start canceling them though, because they're not making money.
because they're still
Tarzan?
trying to find a way to make Tarzan diverse without being racist.
They already did
It's very
Tarzan.
hard.
How many more times are you
Make
gonna
him
do
Chinese.
Tarzan?
No, it's not about it's not about that. They want to do Tarzan, but they want to diversify Tarzan like everything else, but they can't because you don't want to put a black man in a jungle. So you got to figure out a way to make it diverse. So that's
Put him
gonna
in
be
the
the last
concrete
one.
jungle.
No, it won't be Tarzan.
Tarzans. We are Tarzan.
Swing around the city block, just
Tarzan.
dodging the gorillas, the gang,
Predator,
the
Predator
black gang
2.
gorillas.
Tarzan.
They're gonna make like the evil Panthers.
Oh,
They'll all be
God.
police. It'll be like a twist on Black Panthers, but it'll be cops instead. I feel like they can find a way to make
Oh
it
my
work.
god! And it'll all be white cops too.
Right,
it'll be
right.
like from 50 Chicago or Detroit. We'll find like the
Tarzan
most
2.
crime-ridden
concrete
city.
jungle.
They can't make it in Detroit though.
He
That's
could
way
be
too cold.
Egyptian.
Tarzan doesn't wear a lot of
Tarzan
clothes.
would die immediately in
Just
Detroit.
no, Matt Hatter, you're wrong. No,
But
it's too much now.
They could definitely make
Dude.
him a they them. For
But,
sure.
yeah.
Why don't they just
no,
go with that?
No.
So we've
They,
seen Warner
them.
Brothers. Oh, sorry, go on, Casey.
No, I mean, I'm just saying they them covers everything. Once you put in they them, they could get the whitest white boy as long as he's a
Ezra
they
Miller.
them.
Like that transformer, the
It is-
non-binary
that is
transformer.
the platinum. Yeah, that is the platinum.
That's the get out of jail free card with diversity.
It's
Yeah,
not. It
they,
used to
them.
be black. That's a joke now, but that's the black get because y'all let this happen to
Dude.
y'all. Anyway, because, man, but it is they them that card. Whoo, man, it's
It's a powerful card. Just acts Ezra Miller.
Yes.
But no,
Oh, yeah.
a serious question though, because I mean, I have you guys might actually have an answer to this. So we've seen Warner Bros. Warner Bros. Has seen the writing on the wall with how movies are going, with how people are not going out to see all this, diversity pandering, whatnot. They canceled Batgirl. They canceled Supergirl. Those movies were almost done. In fact, I think Batgirl was done and they got canceled. Warner Bros. Is like, look, we're in the business of making money, so we're gonna stop doing this shit. Disney, they've announced there's at least 12 more live action remakes coming, and I'm genuinely of the opinion that Disney has so much money that they're gonna stick it out anyway. They're like, yeah, we could cancel these because we know they're not going to make money, but to prove a point, we're still going to release them. And that I don't understand what sort of multi-billion-dollar business could come to a decision like that.
Because it's not about making money; it's about proving a point, destroying.
You can't
popular
prove
culture.
the point if you don't make money, though. That's the thing.
No.
They need to
money.
money
Well,
launder.
capitalists, my
You
good
can
man,
when
they're communists.
you're funded by private investors that are willing to spend that kind of a money.
That's fair.
Yeah, and
Furthermore-
look, let me tell you something with Warner Bros. Yeah, they probably make a little bit more smarter decisions than the other studios. But let me tell you something. Okay, let me tell you something, Leon. The second that War of the Rohirrim anime does super well, they're gonna go straight for the damn pandering. They are going to just see how much pandering they can get away with their movies for anything related to Middle Earth. And then it's going to go downhill. And then for their other projects, they're going to do the same thing. They always do this. All these
Yeah, they're
companies
so
always do this.
inconsistent. Warner Brothers has always been so inconsistent. On one hand, they have like
Yeah.
the CW, which literally bled out money, and on the other hand, they would produce some solid action films. But Warner Brothers are a very inconsistent company.
because
They're
it's
The
somebody
just random.
CW cancels shows left and fucking right. It's
Right,
actually
they
kind of
should.
crazy.
They're putting out garbage, but they probably there's probably still people in Warner Brothers somewhere in the pockets that are still fighting for something good. They'll get rid of them soon. Don't you worry, they will. So I trust none of these. When it comes to entertainment, it is sad how black-pilled I am. I used every movie that was coming out. I'm like, oh shoot, I gotta go see it just because.
Same.
But
Movie
then, like,
theaters
you
for my
know,
church.
Right, but then all of a sudden I started to notice too much. I'm like, I'm telling you, that Last Jedi, what was it? Skywalker Awakens.
Rise of
Just
Skywalker?
pick a Disney Star Wars movie. They're all the same.
They're all the same.
But what was the last
The one where
when she was
Palpatine gets
Palpatine?
blown up.
The
Granddaughter, but
the
then-
Rise of Skywalker was the last one.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, cool. Because at the time I didn't realize that there was an agenda. I didn't see it yet. The coup hadn't happened yet. So I wasn't, And then when I sat there with my nephew and I'm watching this movie, and I'm like, from the minute she put her hand on that snake thing and healed the snake, I was like, Mikhail, Jedis don't do that. He was like, no, she's a woman, so she's Jedi Jesus. I was like, what is this?
I like that. I like that.
Well, I mean,
Jedi
Yes,
Jesus.
I was
That's
like,
Jedi technically can do it, but it takes it's a
come
lost
on.
art. Like,
But
look, let me put
she
in the
was-
lore. In the lore, they can do it, but normally it's someone who is a master or someone who's been practicing the art for a
if
long
Yoda
time,
would have did
and it takes a lot of focus.
I might not have questioned it if Yoda did it, right? The thing is, I'm like,
They
my
never
nephew-
showed it though. They should have
Huh?
shown it, but they never did it.
Yeah,
Well, all I know
and
is-
that's the problem is that like when if you want to pull something narratively out your ass, and then explain, oh well, it's been done in the expanded materials and all these books and whatnot. Hey, guess what? You decanonized all those books. Like if they had, let's say the old '90s and early 2000s books and '80s books, if those were all still canon, then I'd have no problem with it. But Disney went out of their way to say, "Nah, this shit didn't happen. It's all legends
Yeah, that's
now."
what I'm saying.
So the force
The
healing
first
shouldn't be a thing.
He did was just after they bought it was just get rid of it. It's our
They
time.
did. They got rid of what they didn't want.
Their
It's
first
Yeah.
act
insane.
of,
And then
of
like,
having
sorry.
the company was destroying all that came before it. So go ahead, Casey. Fire
no,
away.
I'm just saying, like, it was just, and then I just was watching and I was still trying to get with it, and I'm just like, this movie's not that good. And then, and then at the end, when they were so happy they won, and then I seen two girls just kiss out of nowhere, I'm like, what was that for?
For about
didn't
2
add up.
seconds, so it could be cut for
Wait,
China.
what?
What'd you?
Wait.
Yeah, I bet it did. Yeah.
Yeah, oh,
But-
dude, that's why. That's so why it was only like a 2-second kiss or whatnot between the
Okay,
two girls. Is
you
that
know
way
what?
Disney could cut that shit for China?
Thank you, because it felt out of place. Maybe too, it was just abrupt. I was like, "Whoa, what
Mhm.
is going on?" You know what I mean? And I said,
And yet
"Mikhail,
it
what
was
you even
still praised. The first lesbian kiss in Star Wars.
And yeah, just and he was like, yeah, and then he was putting me on, to like what's been going on, and I'm like, oh my God, you're so right. Then the coof came, and well, here we are today.
Well, those titles though that you mentioned is the reason why I always kind of fight back against that, because they like to say, "Oh well, why does it matter? Why is it so important? Why is it such a big deal to you? It doesn't affect you." And meanwhile, these are the same people that every time something comes up on screen, they find a way to try to make sure that they can spin an article that says they're the first at anything. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So
Oh, yeah.
they like to say, "Oh, first black." They'll come up with random
What?
shit. Ryan, what the fuck is that?
Oh, it's supposed to be a
Looks like a
Chinese
retarded Ninja
version of the
Turtle.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Okay, never mind.
Okay.
Nice.
That will be in my
Nice.
dreams tonight somehow.
Why did he change color? Was that lighting?
He's diverse.
That's
Dude,
great.
that
The,
is awesome.
Yeah, what I was saying is they try to find a way. So even if they got to keep going and going and going until they eventually get to that first, like we saw them do it with what's her name, Sophia Novet with
Sorry,
Disa.
Niles Cooper in the chat. It was funny.
What was that?
So he says first Star Wars kiss was incest. Beat that, you perverts.
Oh, that's-
Damn.
Yeah, they're not really ready to break barriers. Are they?
Niles.
You went that far. Dang.
that's pretty deep. That's pretty deep.
So I didn't mean to interrupt you. 'cause
That's
I read
what
that
she
and I
said.
lost it. So
No,
my
it's all right.
Oh,
God.
man,
So
that's
they did
insane.
it. They did it with Sophia Numvet, where they would say they were looking. So they said first female, right? So they got the female, then dwarf of color,
Yep.
right? And then some other shit too that they added in there. They had to keep going until it was the first of like 3 different things. All for one character that was a side character in the story that was there for like not even
20
20
minutes.
minutes. Yeah,
Less
20 minutes
than
total
20
in the
minutes?
entire
Yeah.
show. So it's
And
like, why are we doing all this?
20 minutes.
And there
is
were
all you
female
get in-
dwarves
wait a minute.
before.
There
20
was.
minutes? All of those interviews where she wouldn't shut the fuck up about we need to be represented. We see ourselves. This is finally time. This is going to be and just going off so much. And she only had 20 minutes.
I would say probably half
Less
an
than
hour, to be
20
real.
minutes.
To be real,
You
it's
know
probably
what I
half
mean.
an hour. But
For
that's
all
throughout the
that-
entire 8 episodes, which were hour-long
yeah.
episodes. So keep in mind, that's not a lot. And
Amazing.
she
The Puerto
she was
Rican elf had more screen time than
Way
her,
more.
and he was irrelevant as
way
hell.
more. Yep.
Amazing.
They kept him quiet because he wasn't fully black.
And
Yeah,
That's the
he
thing.
was
no,
Afro
to loop
Rican.
back
because
oh,
they
sorry.
didn't want no black people there for real.
Well, they couldn't even let us have fucking Hispanic representation. They had to throw Afro in
Nah,
there, and it's
because
like, come on, what are you?
you know what? The type of black people they were trying to have, like, let's have fun, right? Because it's been
Yeah.
a long day. The type of black people they were trying to have are like leftist black folk, right? Who will actually go
right.
for this and take a job simply because they're black. That's already disgusting to me. Absolutely, it is. But anyway, those people get to work late. They don't feel like working after about 15 minutes. They like, come on, man, we ain't done yet. They didn't want all the niggas. They was like, get the Latino because y'all
Well,
get
that's
to
the
work
thing.
on time. Y'all are focused. Y'all, you know
we
what I'm
need to
saying?
give the barber some money.
When they do, that's fucked up.
Get your Al Sharpton ass out of here.
Oh, God.
When they
Kinda like it
when they
raised me
do
like that.
diversity,
Man.
they always have to tie it back to black people. Even if it's Latino people, they have to call you Afro Latino. If it's any other kind of person, they call you Afro whatever.
Dude,
It's weird,
back to
man.
John
I don't know
Leguizamo,
why it
literally,
has to be that.
when we were talking about John Leguizamo earlier, one of the articles that I was talking about, he literally used those terms. Why is it always light-skinned Latinos and not Afro Latinos? And I was like, what the
Y'all was
fuck does an
talking-
Afro Latino even mean?
Right.
African Italian, African Hispanic, Spanish African.
Listen,
They
That would
could
mean
be
Spain.
Moroccan.
you know
Why
what's
would
funny,
you
yo?
want-
I didn't know y'all were talking about John Leguizamo. I'm mad I missed that one because I made a video about his ridiculousness, and this was a while ago before I knew how to title my video, so probably only got like 58
Dude, my John Leguizamo video from last week or 2 weeks ago, whatever, bombed as well. You're good. Like, I wish he'd done more because it's so much fun to rag on that dude.
he was saying something like, what did he say? He said, I remember trying to get parts in the past. I had to make sure that I didn't go out in the sun too much so I could keep my complaint. And I was like,
same article I covered. I call bullshit on it. There's no way back in the 90s, homeboy was sitting there thinking, oh, I need to stay indoors when he lives probably off like the Sunset Strip or some shit.
I said, on my video, I was like, what the hell? I was like, what's going on with John Leguizamo? He never heard of a light-skinned black person before? Like, he doesn't know what he doesn't know what a tan is? Like, what's going on? Like, how dark did he think he was gonna get? Like, I was just like,
well,
Johnny.
and Cassie, cult classic Cage is like, isn't he known for also playing Italians? Like, the dude's Latino, but isn't he known for playing Italian roles?
Because he looks Italian.
He
or
jumps
convincingly
into
Italian.
whatever he's trying to pander to. So, because sometimes when he's talking, he'll just be like, "Oh, we need to see more Italian actors," and he'll be speaking from a place of being Italian, and then all of a sudden he'll change it up, and when it's talking about Hispanics, he'll say, "Oh, we need more Latino representation." He changes up whenever he feels like it.
This guy is so desperate for money, he worked with Steven Seagal. That should tell you everything you need to know.
No, I got you. I got something good for you guys. So
he also worked with Ray Romano. That's even worse.
Yeah, if we ever need some extra representation on the Mario and Luigi, all we gotta do is exactly what Salty said here. Mario and Luigi will be Maria and LaQuisha.
Oh my God,
Maria and LaQuisha.
Oh, throw it away.
The perfect lesbian duo.
What was
right
it?
there.
What was the name of your bestie again?
Don't do that. Don't do that. Her name's Khadijah, and that is the wife of the prophet. like, you will not do it. It's like, no.
Oh man,
no, Khadijah's not that. Like,
I'm just saying.
Look this little
I would love to see that. Be like, it's me, LaQuisha. Now give me them coins for child support.
That would be awesome.
Give me your mushroom hand.
I knew a girl named Tasha or some crazy shit. I was like,
what?
Why?
Dang. A wild name.
I saw someone named their child after COVID and named it like Cove or something like that.
No.
Yeah. No, they really did.
And then they get mad. They're like, I bet you won't
when
hire
the
my
rise of
little...
Twitter and like
Jackie Tan.
That's pretty good.
Jackie Tan.
They're coming out tonight. They're coming out tonight.
Everybody, well,
He
everybody,
went out of
everybody
the
was drinking
closet.
and bonging it up. So I
They
mean,
are coming out
Yeah,
of the
man.
of
The
the
chat
meme
was
closet.
drinking and smoking like crazy. I was like, what the fuck's going on here? Damn.
Jackie
I-
Tan.
But like, oh damn it, the chat that made me forget what I was gonna say. Forget it, y'all.
He is less yellow than when he came out.
Oh my god.
Well, actually, no. So that like back in the day when G4 could do what the hell ever they wanted, when they were doing Ninja Warrior, there was a black guy that was competing in the Ninja Warrior tournament, and they introduced him as Blackie Chan. I was thinking about that the other day because Ninja Warrior loved it. You could not say that on TV nowadays. However,
not
that was how the
fair.
dude was referring to himself. He was like some jacked black dude with like dreads, and he slayed the first Ninja Warrior course, which is impressive for anyone that's not Asian, if I'm being honest. And they introduced him on TV as Blackie Chan. And can you imagine 2008? What a glorious time.
I'm okay, but I
I
saw
was
this
What a
nine.
glorious day when we
saw
could
this coming.
joke around and nobody would get offended. Oh my god, I miss those
When
days
they-
of good old shit talking.
So when they started doing that anti-bullying campaigning back in 2011, I remember being like, this is feeling like, I was like, this is a bad idea. But it's anti-bullying. I'm like, a little bit of bullying is okay. It builds character. What are they talking about? I didn't know
As
how
a
far
skinny
everything was
white
gonna
nerd
go.
who was shoved in lockers in 6th grade, I'm an advocate for bullying. I was the bullied, and I think it has made me who I am.
Oh,
I
damn.
obviously don't go too far. There's
Right.
all things in moderation, but there is such thing as a healthy amount of being bullied.
You have to, because then when you're older, you're not afraid that somebody's going to call you a bigot, or for me, I get called, a coon all the time, and it does nothing to. I'm like, oh guys, come on, come up
Damn.
with something better. That's like so, 2018. Like, let's try again.
What about
But,
Chaka?
um,
Do you
But
get called
yeah,
that?
like, I don't care what people say. Plus, I'm a psych nurse. I done heard it all. When I tell you, I heard it all.
Oh man.
You know what happens when you don't bully?
Mhm.
Become pussy.
You get TV shows like this.
Oh, I was hoping you were going to pull up Eskimo. Damn. All right.
Crazy what they do. That's
Hey,
crazy
look,
what they do.
guys, there's diversity in bullying, but
Nightshades pronouns are they, them.
He or she doesn't fit who I am. My apologies. Please switch.
What a
there.
gay show.
Fuck
she means
Granny
please
Demon.
put a big throbbing cock in there.
I'm sorry. This is not what Transformers was about in the 80s. Like, come on, man. I was a girl and I couldn't get enough of the Transformers cartoon, Bumblebee, and and all of them. And now I forgot the
God.
names all of a sudden.
I'm just surprised that the word
Transformers,
trans isn't in all
Transdemons,
caps in the new
and
version.
Right.
Transformers.
And then they used to be like turning into cars, and then they would, come back as robots, and they'd be kicking ass. And now it's just like, my apologies. Like, what?
It's
My
terrible.
apologies. I should not have misunderstood your pronouns. You
It's
see,
official.
You look kind of
Misgendering or misuse of pronouns is now the scariest thing in the Transformers universe. It's not the fucking Decepticons.
Yeah,
no.
you could
It's
say
always
that
a black
misgendering someone
kid
is an
that's
Optimus
speaking.
crime.
Hey, we gotta get this
Bring
part out of
on
the way.
Megatrans.
You know what? Yes, go ahead and say it, Dragon. I want you to say it.
Let
Go ahead.
me point the obvious out here.
Yep.
Of course, it's the black female character that is
Mhm.
speaking for the white he, she, they, whatever the fuck this
Did you
thing
just
is,
say that,
white
Dragon?
transformer.
Stop
they,
using
them? Okay.
bad pronouns, Dragon. It's
Oh,
they,
I'm
them.
sorry.
Nightshade is a they, them. Respect
Sorry.
it.
Iron they, them, whatever you are.
It's a binary, non-binary robot. Okay.
Binary,
say.
non-binary. I don't know. Those words don't exist in my dictionary, so I don't use them. This heavily confused robot is letting the black kid speak for her
No.
because it has a female voice, so it will be a she because that is common sense now. The voice actress is a woman, so it's a she. So yeah, this black kid is speaking for the white, heavily confused female Autobot character.
Well,
Mentally ill.
What
A little
a
bit
wonderful thing!
They even look at each other for validation. Like he looks
I
at her
know.
like, "Oh,
They- yeah.
can you say it for me?" She's like, "Yeah, I'll say it. Whatever." You know.
gonna
Massa,
tell you
can
why.
you say it for me, please?
no, I'm going to tell you why this is
Mhm.
happening. And I said this last year.
Mhm.
So I noticed this stuff happening, and I was like, what is going on? They use black faces, black kids. They always have to, because if you say I'm not with this, well, not only are you a bigot or whatever, you're a racist. That's why they attach it to black all the time. And they do this thing where it's like black queer. Oh yeah, black queer has always been here. You know what I mean? And even going back to BLM, right? BLM. I knew that group was sick before I became who I am. I seen 3 hoes on a thing talking about her story, her story, her story. And
Were
I'm
you
like,
still a leftist at this time? Like,
Huh?
because you said you used to
I
be on the
was.
left. Were you still on the left when BLM popped up? And even then,
Yeah,
you were
and
like,
I
"That's
said, what the
true
hell is
left for
this?"
me."
Did you say?
You were still. Well, I said, was BLM even too left for you back when you were?
Yes, it
still
was absolutely, because you know what? I don't think that it was that I was like, for real, because I like men, right? So when I read, first of all, women get on my nerves, right? But
Mine too.
It gets on all our nerves.
But-
Thank goodness you agree too. We were very concerned.
when I read their mission statement, this was back in 2017. We protect black women, black trans, black gay, black queer, right? And so I kept looking. I said, well, wait a minute. Where's the part where they say they protect black men? It was never there. And so I was like, I don't know what this group is, but I want no parts because I love black men. You know what I mean? So I was like, I'm not with this at all. And I don't trust how fast they're catapulting. But that was the point. They chariot in the trans situation, or this, this situation, because not all the money, but whatever money that they gave to charity only went to
You see it, Hypno?
I do. Let Casey finish. I'm sorry. Let
Yeah,
Casey
finish.
finish.
We're sorry, Casey.
And I'm almost done.
We're a bunch of dumbasses. I'm gonna shut up.
almost done. But all the money, like not all the money. I keep saying all the money because they bought mansions and stuff. But whatever money they were giving away to charity, they were giving it to trans kids of LA. Trans is trans that, right? And so this group. So I put a post on Twitter. I said I love, and it's that that fist, but the gay one with all the colors of trans. And I said, and see what Black Lives Matter did. I said it's not lost on me that they stood on the backs of dead black men and got all this money and catapulted this trans thing on your black back. I said, so pay attention. You know what I mean? These communists don't play. That's what this is about. You know what I mean?
You were saying earlier, that you knew a girl's name like LaQuisha and stuff. Well, pretty soon their name's gonna be changed into a dude's name. They ain't gonna be LaQuisha
they already
anymore.
doing it. I mean, y'all check out my last video.
Rand Quay.
But
Hold on. Can I show? I want to just show some more diversity really quick, because I'm trying to keep a straight face.
Gotta hope
Well,
this is Words of Paradise.
Dude, whoever
no, you
did
gotta
this
show
gave
the
me a
caption.
legitimate jawline. Like, thank you for the legitimate jawline.
Hey,
I like
you
when
are
Kanye
Jesus
West
now.
popped in
You are
the background.
Jesus.
Tough. Look at the background. There's a bunch of
I like that Kanye West in the
Oh,
background.
the background. I didn't even see the background. This is great. Man, they're really detailed with this. I like
Damn.
this.
Hey,
Yes,
look,
someone's gonna send that to me on Twitter. That might be my new profile picture. Damn.
I might just add
They
that.
gave you a nice
Oh, man.
lace front. Look at that hair.
We should start
I
off
like
the
the
next
smile.
stream all with black profile
cool.
pictures. It'll be great.
Hey, look, if
I mean,
we do that, I'm
it's
gonna
be
tell you
boring
something.
if I do it. So
Hey, look, if I do it, I mean, I can't do it, okay? But like, if I really wish deep down inside, I could like just blackface my dragon and then call him N-word Slayer, but I can't.
That would be really
Go ahead
bad.
and do it.
That'd be
Really bad.
but
Just
funny
like
as hell.
The name combination is not good.
Spanish word for black.
It would be bad. I know it's
Here, I'm
bad,
giving
but
you the pass, okay? I just passed the pass. Go ahead.
YouTube
Gotta
won't
pass
take it.
Let me call out the
YouTube
super
will be
chat
like-
real quick. Star Peanut 1 for $5 says all the Decepticon got to do is misgender Nightshade. They them will run away crying like a bitch. Yep, that's true.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. You made pronouns the scariest thing in Transformers. It's no longer Decepticons or whatever. None of that. Nope.
Yeah.
It's fucking pronouns.
Well,
crazy.
I mean, by the way, Salty actually gave me a better name. It would be Ghetto Slayer. That's the second level
You know
safe
what? Yeah,
name.
Yeah.
That's the
'Cause
safe name.
I want
pretty
to
safe.
burn down.
It's safe, but I mean, I can't do the
They
other
won't
one.
burn down any cities for the Ghetto Slayer.
You seriously,
Guys,
because-
make sure you
Alright.
like the stream. Like the stream. We're at 145 likes. If you haven't liked the
We
stream
gotta
already,
show
please
Peter
make sure you like the
Pan
stream.
falling to his death, man. We've forgotten about that.
Well, no, we will. We're gonna get to
Or
it. Don't worry.
Velma.
We're not even 2 hours into the stream yet. The stream is.
I know.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh,
I thought it
wow.
was. I thought it was past that. What's up?
Gang
you
Slayer.
made a
Okay.
video earlier, and I kind of feel like we should talk about it on the channel. But
What did I do now?
about Charlize Theron,
Oh, that psycho bitch.
yes.
Yeah.
A
What about
really
her?
good actress. Yeah, you're
Yo,
right. She's kind of
First of all, first of all, your rant, 'cause the way you said "fuck you," and I was like, "Damn!" Like,
She's
you
a
were
psycho
ranting.
bitch.
She is.
what did she do this
But-
time?
Oh, you don't know
So-
what she did?
Yeah,
No,
they
I
probably
Casey,
don't
Casey
know. I
can say.
watched
Go ahead,
it. It was
Casey,
very
go ahead.
interesting. Okay, well, apparently they had what was it? A drag queen-a-thon or something? A telethon drag queen?
It was an event called "Drag is Not Dangerous," and it was meant to try to promote drag queens to kids. And they used Charlie's whatever Theron to basically make a video saying that she will f up anybody that will dare say anything bad about the drag community, and that they are basically inherently always good people. Essentially, like they could never do anything wrong,
Oh.
kind of a
Yeah,
thing.
it's not like
which I
there
have
was, a school shooting not too terribly long ago that had,
Oh.
a couple 6-year-olds murdered or anything. So yeah,
Yeah,
Right.
we're gonna ignore that.
So wait,
Also,
no, I want to add
Charlene's.
to it a little bit, but I know
Oh, okay.
Hypno is gonna
Yeah,
want
let me just call this out really quick. Semper Reloaded for $4.99. Thank you so much. Says good evening for me, Roger. What's up, man? Good evening.
What's up?
Great
Good
to see you,
evening,
my
Mr.
good
Watcher.
man.
Well, before we
Aw.
get into Charlie's,
Okay.
let's I want to go back to something really quick because that kind of we can segue into that based off this particular clip. I want to bring back up the Transformers thing really fast because what they say in that video clip is very telling, and it's the same thing Charlize was also saying as well. Where the fuck is it? I've got it. Okay, right here. So this is the other clip that is different from the first one that we saw. So this is the one that initially went like, I guess, viral-ish the first time, because you guys got to remember this TV show is not new. Like, I know the backlash is new again. Like, people are back on hating
wait,
it.
this isn't a new show.
No, it's been around since last year.
Yeah, we talked about
Wow.
I made videos on
We
this.
talked about it when it was new. Yeah.
My older video is now gaining like hundreds or even I think 1,000 views because now the topic is relevant again. But I
thought
made a
this was
video.
within,
Yeah, I
like,
got a
the
couple
last
on
4
mine,
or 6
too.
months or so.
No, so it was. This has happened a while ago. It's not a new thing. But there's something that's said in here that's very telling, and I have the biggest problem right here.
Mhm.
Watch this.
Sometimes the world can be a scary place. It's hard to know who's dangerous or not.
That's true, though disappointing.
Hey, it's okay. I know I'm safe when I'm with my friends or other non-binary people.
So that right there is a huge problem for me
Oh.
because that is setting up. And remember, this is a kid show. That is setting up kids to believe and think in their mind that the moment they are surrounded by someone who calls themselves non-binary, they are automatically safe. And that's what they want these kids to think, that they are safe no matter what. As long as they say they're non-binary, you're amongst friends, you're amongst safe people.
For the
You-
final
that
step.
That should never be the case. You should never. You should only feel safe around people that you actually know. That's why I don't know when.
Danger.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't know when stranger danger became not a thing anymore. But that needs
The
to
rise
become a
of
thing
Uber.
again. Yeah, fair enough.
So, and then what it also does in the mind of the communist is it places the person who knows that like they're biologically a woman or a man, you are now effectively unsafe.
Right. Exactly.
I got a friend. I'm not gonna like name who it was or anything because they've got a relatively decent job. And I don't want them to get canceled. But I one time saw him trigger a non-binary chick at the downtown square in the city I live in because they were doing this protest thing, and she was talking about being non-binary. And he dropped. This is the first time I ever heard this. I don't know if anyone's like if this was a common insult or whatnot. But he's like, you do know that by claiming you're non-binary, you're part of the binary now because you're either non-binary or you're not. which puts you in
Yeah,
a
but-
binary. And
and
oh,
what the
dude,
hell?
she flipped her shit on him. It was so great.
brain. Her brain cells
I-
probably started like.
Well, they can't think that far. That's the
They
problem.
can't. No, like
You're
it
right.
annoys
They
me.
can
with-
only think as far as as they are remembering what they were told. That's as much as they can think.
Once you
And this
ask
is true too. This comment right here, where they said, "I'm surprised Megatron isn't a good guy and Optimus is oppressing him." I'm really surprised that's not the case either. To be honest with you, I'm sure that's
because
coming at some point.
Megatron is a badass though, so like he's still toxic masculine. Oh Jesus, God help me! It's a
He's mega trans now. He has tits and everything.
It's true,
That's
but
hardcore.
dude,
We're so
hey, you
mature.
killed Casey, man. You ruined her picture of a mechanical masculinity. Dang, man.
Mechanical
Look.
masculinity. That's the thing.
Hey, look, I was just saying because it's a Decepticon, but look, one thing about these people who go with non-binary and all that shit, I always forget what it means, and I have to look it up because it's so stupid. The meaning, okay? Like, look, I'm sorry if you're using a term that literally is meant to describe that you don't fall into either gender categories, male or female. Let me tell you something. Number one, you're insane. Number two, what are you? A fucking robot? Well, if you are still something. It is called a robot.
They're not
And if
human.
the robot
Don't
has
give them
tits,
human
it is a
rights.
female. If it doesn't, it is a male.
Robots,
you're a lizard alien,
robots are
unless
created
you're
with a
lizard.
binary system, so.
But
Well,
Hypno,
yeah,
what
but
he's
they
saying,
still exhibit one of the two binary personalities. Yeah, I went that far.
But-
what are you gonna say,
but
Casey?
what you're saying is right, Dragon. You see what he's saying, Hypno? Like he's like, well, what are you? Because you should fit into some sort of a category. And remember on your live stream the other day, and you showed me that girl, and she said, when I don't feel like a human, like.
Oh
these
yeah,
people-
I lost it at that point.
Like,
Or if they don't feel
I was
like a
watching that
human,
video and I'm like, all right, this is typical, crazy leftist shit. All good. It's pretty funny. And then at the end, she's like, yeah, this is the best way to describe me when I don't feel very human. And I'm like, oh, fuck.
yeah.
Like, why
What
am
are
I
you, a
doing
vampire? Like, what do you want to be described
not
as?
human.
We
So
got
we
them,
don't
man.
give you human rights and we'll toss you out of the nearest airlock.
I thought
They
you
got
were
them.
gonna say lamppost, Ryan. Come on.
Okay,
man.
Yes,
hang
you
them from the
call-
nearest lamppost.
There we go. That's accurate.
Oh God.
Oh
Not
Jabba the
Jabba the
Hutt.
Hutt again.
Why are you sure?
no! Its fucking
Not Jabba
chin
the
is
Hutt.
bigger than its tit.
dude, that chin is bigger than a fat man's beer belly.
Oh,
Made
my
Lizzo
God.
look attractive for a slight moment there.
No, what is that clip where they
That's
show
rough.
where like they show that person talking and they show Jabba the Hutt speaking?
Oh, yeah.
Like that.
You gotta find it, dude. You gotta find it.
I did see a clip like that. I mean,
Oh,
listen-
shout out, by the way, to all the Filipinos, man. You finally can see yourselves, by the way.
oh,
Finally can see yourselves as a Muppet. I've been meaning to say
Wait
it
a
on live
second.
stream. Congrats, everybody.
Blackface that Filipino because my Filipino friend, she was not this dark.
I'm
Well,
gonna have to send this to my stepmother because she's half Filipino, and like, yeah, I want to know what her reaction to this is gonna be. So,
shout out to also
most
Will of the
of them
Fans
are.
in the Philippines. Shout out to him. Get your ass
You're-
on
He
the.
went there for the ladies, folks.
The Filipinos
definitely
have awesome last names. If you ever pay attention, they always have it always has like a little Spanishy type flair to it, like
Just enough.
Bonifacio or
Just enough
like-
a double.
sorry.
why is it
Says
an emo
Semper-
haircut though?
Because it's Philippine. Semper Reloaded for $4.99 says, you're not special is all that is needed to set them off. It's clean, simple, and not reportable. Yeah, that's true. That's absolutely
spoken.
They
true.
are special. They're special needs, so we need to put them in an insane asylum and keep them there.
I found the video, by the way, everyone, for your
Lord.
viewing pleasure.
Okay, so I've seen the stills of this, but never actually watched it. What are
Oh,
we
you're in for a
for?
treat. You're
Oh,
in
this
for
is
a
right.
great. If you're a Star Wars fan, you'll know.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Kiko. I'm 23. I go to UCSB and I also bartend.
They probably shouldn't use their pronouns.
We need to hear that again. No, hold on.
Oh, that was
Here
not
you
what I was
I
expecting.
go to
What was
UCSB.
that?
Cooper is mentioned.
I really thought she was going to use her pronouns.
Oh,
That's great stuff.
God.
Died when I
Oh.
heard that. It killed me.
I really wasn't
My.
expecting that. I thought they were gonna like
No.
raise their voice, make it high pitched, something
Yeah.
crazy like that. I didn't think they were gonna pull out Jabba.
Oh, dude,
But
that
again,
was
I
fucking
should have seen
Jabba.
that coming. I should have seen that coming.
I thought you were about to show the actual clip from because like I said, I've
Yeah.
only seen the stills, so I've not even seen what was originally there. But
She-
holy shit, that was
That person
great.
was saying
No,
something, and I
yeah.
remember the other girl was kind of like looking to this because I
Hey, you
think,
know what's sad,
yeah,
Casey?
Or
You know
wait.
what's sad? I've been meaning to tell you. So they apparently, whoever watched that whatever podcast, a lot of people are saying that person, I don't know their name, so that person was
Hey.
the most rational person on that entire podcast. And then I made the joke, well, that's because he's a
Man.
biological male and surrounded by fucking females.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
that's also
A lot of
a
sense.
trans dude. Like, oh, dude, that's awesome.
that makes a lot of sense, and that's a shame. Here's the thing, right? Listen, everybody has a journey. I don't want you to hate yourself.
No.
You know,
Yeah, of course. We
what
don't
you're
want that.
doing there is like it's for attention. You have a lot to work on along the way, because we all have something to work on, and along the way you can feel good, but you gotta work on it, man. Like, dog, you are too. It's
So
scary, yo. Like,
no,
bro,
you-
that
you
heart
hit the
is,
nail on
like,
the head
any
because
minute now.
you hit the nail on the head with you have to work on it. Because here's the dealio: people can identify as whatever they want, be whatever they want, be proud whatever they want. But the crux of this, the biggest issue, is when people say you're perfect the way you are. Bullshit. You're not perfect. No one is. No one is perfect. I'm so sick of that damn message and every kid's show and all this media advertising. You're not perfect. We should be wanting folk to strive to be better. You know, I'm nearly 30. Let me tell you, I was a real piece of shit in my late teens. Got a little bit better in my early 20s. Now I'm much better than the person I was, a decade ago, and I hope to be even better a decade past this. There's no such thing as perfect the way you are. Shut the fuck up, get to the gym, or eat better, or take a better job, or go learn a new skill. Do something to improve who you are as a person, and stop saying you're perfect the way you are. No one is.
This guy is nearly 30, yet he looks younger than I do.
And you're
What does that tell
23.
you?
Oh my god.
These are the people
Exactly,
telling
23.
everybody that they're perfectly fine
Absolutely.
and perfect. These
This-
are
Yeah,
Just a
it-
bunch of
problem right here.
old, childless women.
And
they're
an
not even
Asian.
not a lot of them
Don't
are even
forget the
old though.
Asian.
they're not that old, but they're women. They're,
Frankly,
they're,
I don't
they're
even know
liberal.
how
They're
many of them are
sexually
actually
frustrated
women. I mean,
women.
some
That's what it
surgeries are
is.
getting look pretty good nowadays. So I don't know how many of them are
Looks
women.
like a Marvel's writer room. That's what it looks like.
It does.
But they're liberal women, and liberal women are the worst. Yo, it's sick a little bit because they're so condescending. Like, you know, the whole thought of I know I had a better childhood than you, and I want to help you. That right there makes me want to deck you right in the face because you don't know me. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm not about to explain myself to you. Like, it's just sick. It really is sick. It just is, and women need to be. Those are the type of women that a man needs to tell them to shut up and sit down. I'm
Yep.
so-
Well,
Off to
those
the
are those are
kitchen
the
with
same type
you.
of women that are those are the same type of women that are now involved. I mean, like Hypnotic said, those are the it's a writing room for Marvel. Those are the same type of women that would have I never would have even dared ask to the prom or whatever when I was in high school because they would have shot me down, made fun of me for liking anime, reading comic books. But now they're writing comic book shows and getting paid $100,000 a year for it. Yeah, I'm glad nerd culture is accepted and whatnot. By the same token, fuck those types of women. So
Yeah. Either that or they're on Twitch trying to pretend to be gamers. Try
totally
to
is.
attract,
You, Susie, you
you know,
bitch.
Star
Like,
Peanut 1 for
literally.
$2 says we need to bring shame. Yeah, I
We
think we need to
do.
bring shame
Yeah.
back. Speaking of shame, let's bring it
Shame.
back, shall we? Who the fuck thought this was a good idea?
Yeah, why they picked that picture? They did that girl dirty. What
That's
was that
fucked
about?
up.
Who took that?
That's crazy.
This
how
this
did
was
you
on
get the
Enter.
shot?
I think this was on Enter. It's a motion still.
Entertainment Weekly or some shit.
Entertainment
Yeah.
Weekly put this up next to a regular picture of her, and then they put this next to it. And I'm like, why would you do how did it? First off, there's different checkpoints that you got to go through before you could post something like this.
About, like,
So
15,
how did
right?
this get through every checkpoint at
Every.
Entertainment Weekly? And they said, "Yep, let's launch this."
We have an insider, folks. That's how it
I
happens.
think we do. I really think we do because
We
I wonder
do.
if this
Yeah,
person got in
yeah,
trouble.
yeah.
The system.
And then they probably shamed her to not say anything. They probably were like, so, I mean, what's the big deal, right? Is it really a pejorative that you look retarded? I thought we are inclusive, right? Was I wrong for using the R word? I use it. I'm
No.
from the 80s. I didn't know it was a bad
No,
word.
I
until,
use it too.
6
I don't
months
care.
ago.
Retard over there.
Retard
look.
is a noun of another synonymous word, retardation, which means regression, which means at the end of the day, we are talking about the same thing. So, in and of itself, it technically is not an
Well, she
offensive
has
word because it
retarded
could mean
hair,
regression
so-
in many ways.
It's got legitimate English connotation to it. Like something is flame retardant. It means it negates the effects of flame. Flame retardant blanket. Like the word is a
Yeah.
genuine word in English language. 9 out of 10 people, 99 out of 100 people aren't walking up to someone with Down syndrome being like, "Hey, you tard." Like that's not happening in the vast majority of cases.
No, but I was watching 80s commercials and like, oh my God, who was it? Was it like, it was somebody and they were trying to like do fundraising for children with Down syndrome. And they were like, help us raise money for the retarded children of such as. I was like, dog. And it was not,
But there's no malice in it. Like,
listen, but I was just nostalgic. I said, oh God, man, we were G's back in the day, bro.
The sex
We didn't think
comments
any-
are coming in like
We
hot
raised
pockets,
money for the
man.
retarded children. I said, whoa.
Hey, look,
Impressive.
the fact that it's under the sea, we're gonna get a lot of wet sex jokes. Okay,
Oh.
and chat is going to
Oh my
be.
God, it's better down there.
Oh man,
Dirty bastards.
I can't wait for this to
Yes,
go.
I
yes.
still
we
just
already got
don't know how
everything.
they allowed this though. Like
Hey, look,
that's what's bugging me so much
it's not
because
as bad as the butt plug joke, you know.
I thought it was a
They
meme. I
did.
thought somebody photoshopped this. That's what I
No.
really thought. I
She's
thought this
got a
was
butt
fake.
plug with teeth in her.
And I had to. That's terrible. I had to double check to make sure this was from a legitimate place, and I saw the yellow check mark. This is Entertainment Weekly, their actual Twitter feed. So that's pretty terrible.
She
They
makes
did
Uma
fucking
Thurman's
god-awful.
eyes look normal.
Did you say
which I
yellow
didn't
check
think
mark,
would be
by the
good.
way?
Yeah, it's a yellow check mark. They're giving because they're a news
Yeah,
organization.
old news articles get grandfathered
Oh.
into a yellow check mark to verify they are real news.
Oh,
That's how I knew it was their real accounts. That's what I looked for. I was like, oh shit,
Yeah, I'm trying to
because
get that.
I
Oh,
really
okay.
thought it was fake at first. Like, how could you fuck this up? That is a major fuck up, especially from
We have
Entertainment Weekly.
insiders. We have spies who are going to help us make
You know, Arc
great again.
0606 says, as someone on the spectrum, I don't care if you're retarded as long as you aren't derogatory about it. And as somebody who is likely on the spectrum myself, I haven't gotten tested, but I very, very likely I have some small sort of
Not an
Asperger's or something to that
STD.
effect.
You don't
At
need
the
a
end of the
test
day,
for it.
most of the time when you're using the word retarded derogatorily, we're not actually talking about people who are genuinely retarded, like biologically. You know, like let's say there's a 40-year-old Karen throwing a fit at at a grocery store because her coupon isn't working, who has a Down syndrome son. She's the retard, not her Down syndrome son.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
He's on crack.
drugs.
Got him on.
Bro, the
Ooh,
fact
I know.
the fact that people
That's
are
Stephen. Yay.
Meanwhile, what we're saying about the word retarded, like the same people who will shame you for using that word will tell women to end their babies in their wombs because their child might possibly have Down syndrome or something. And they're never really sure. And I'm not getting into the whole conversation, but you see what I'm saying? You'll shame me for using that word, but you will kill a child because you think they might have this.
Dude, were that situation ever arise from? I'll be 100% honest. Were that situation ever arise from me? I don't know how, because I know that I do not have the skill set to handle someone
I'm
that
not
would need that
judging the
much.
person. I'm
Yeah,
saying
no,
that-
I know you're not. I'm just saying
Yeah.
that, like, I get what, like, there's this argument for that. Like, hey, we can tell in the womb if it's got Downs.
They
Go
can't
ahead
too,
and-
by
and-
the way. They can't fully tell. It's like
Fair
a
enough.
46%. Yeah, and so that's what I know a few people who were supposed to look like on the side. And I was like, they told your mother what? They were like, 2 doctors told her. And she said she's having her baby anyway. Crazy.
Yeah, they're bloodthirsty
Anyway,
motherfuckers. They just want to kill, kill,
Yes.
or sterilize.
And-
then
and
Were
kill.
you
Yeah.
trying to reference Papa Roach there? Because that was like the lyrics to
Um,
Blood Brothers by Papa Roach.
What did they say? Bow chicka wow wow. Why? I see
the
I have
sex
no
jokes
idea.
are running
They're
rampant
Roma,
on this
great
thread
guys.
and on our chat.
finds her attractive.
Bruh.
Bro,
They
she
did it
is hella different. than
Hey, back
Sid.
to John Leguizamo.
But you
Like,
know, but you
He's a
know,
little shit. Moving
I don't feel
on.
too bad for her because she keeps saying the dumb shit in the article. Y'all, yes, I'm cursing. It's for Saturday night. I'm tired. It was a long day. I always feel
Slay
like I have
queen.
to explain that I'm cursing. I don't know why I'm like this. But anyway, she said, I wish I would have saw a black mermaid growing up, it would have changed my whole life. I
That's
said,
crazy.
This bitch is stupid.
Stupid
I-
and shit.
A black mermaid was gonna. I said, this is why I can't stand y'all. Like,
Don't you have mythology about blue mermaids kidnapping black people and then having hybrid children with them underneath the sea and then
I-
throwing the black women
Help
right
them
back
fight.
out childless?
Not
All
only
I
that,
know
though, she
is-
said that she saw the Little Mermaid and was inspired by what she saw. So why would you have to then see a black Little Mermaid?
yes, that's who she totally contradicted herself.
Contradicting hard.
Miss, like, wait, and then my life would have changed completely. Bitch, you want a Disney movie? Like, what are you doing that? So how better? What do you want a Disney movie for nothing? Simply because you black, right? That's why I don't like affirmative action and none of that. So
And
So
you know what? Movies can be life changing. Like, I've genuinely, I can count on a few hands. But it's not. I've never experienced a life changing movie that had anything to do with fucking skin color. Not one. You want to know
Right.
what movie
And-
was life changing to me? Raiders of the Lost Ark. Not because of anything to do with race. It
Right.
was just a life changing film experience for
But
me.
Leon, you're a genuine person. You know what I mean? Stop it. Rocky can be
You're a
like, I
rising
get
star,
it.
I
I
tell
get it.
you.
You know what I mean? But this girl is not. She is reading the script. She's doing whatever. And guess what? After this movie's done, we're not going to hear from her because nobody
agree
really
with that.
listens to her music and stuff like. So she got to ride it as long. I hope she takes her money, flips it. Flip some houses, get a trucking company or something. Get ready because it's
She'll
downhill
probably
from
go
here.
into pornography like most Disney.
I
stars.
really hope
We have
Like
yeah
her
we
sister.
haven't heard from the guy that played live action Aladdin.
man.
what?
I haven't heard
never
from
saw-
really any of them.
Mhm.
You don't.
Yeah, you kind of don't hear much about these actors. They just go under the radar after they debut. It's like It's like the Superman curse. Instead of staying on Superman, dispersed with the Disney live action films.
But-
They're
Right.
all
But
like all the
Halle
actors
Bailey-
involved are cursed.
Halle Bailey would have had a chance to be a little better because she had, some music coming out. I didn't listen to it. She could have did something. I would have went like the independent indie films route or something like that, but whatever.
And she has a good voice. Like from the little bits I've heard of the Little Mermaid stuff, she genuinely has a good voice. I remember reading this article. This was months ago. It was one of the first videos I ever did on my channel, and it was talking about how her skin color never occurred to us. We heard her sing, and we just knew then and there. And my thought process was, part of me genuinely hopes that's true, but the other 90% of me that knows the truth is like, bullshit. You hired her because she's black and because she can sing. Like, yeah, they had to have both. And I think it actually does her a disservice because she's only relatively recently come out and started playing the Hollywood game in terms of, representation this, I was inspired by so-and-so. When the casting was very first announced, she was relatively quiet on social media. And all I could think was, this bitch is about to get dunked on for something that likely isn't her fault. Because the media is going to say, first black Ariel. And she's, I wonder if she's even ready for that sort of she's going to get hate. Not necessarily because people are it's a bunch of race. She's going to get hate because people don't like seeing things they love change. Not because they're a bunch of race. Is she ready for that level of hate that Disney thrust upon her, knowing full damn well that she's going to get it? She's a pawn.
He 100% is a pawn.
Yeah.
But they all are, though. It's not just her.
I'm gonna read this.
Yeah. She was just
I kind of
easy
feel bad
example.
for Halle Berry or whatever her name is, but goodness, this crap needs to stop. She's simply.
I don't feel bad for
not
Halle
my
Berry.
age.
Halle Berry's hot. I feel bad for
Well,
Halle
no,
Bailey.
her name is Halle Bailey. Yeah.
Yeah,
I made that
Halle
mistake too.
I didn't even
Bailey,
think that,
not
yeah.
Barry. Damn it.
So, like, here's the thing. It's like I do kind of a little bit. I know what you mean, but it's just that the add-on to me, the narcissism of like, I'm gonna change lives. Like, man, I know they're telling you to say this. I couldn't go along with it. I don't know, but
Oh yeah.
also, here's the thing though, Leon, what you said about first black and this, that, and the third. It's because it's jammed down people's throat and people don't want it. When you're told you better like this or else you're racist, it's automatically going to make you defensive and be like, I don't want nothing to do with it, right? But I always remind people, back when I was like, I think I was like 20 or something, Brandy Norwood was Cinderella and there was a Chinese Prince Charming and Whitney Houston was the fairy godmother. And when I was talking about this, Cassie, when she was on the live, when I was talking about this, Cassie was like, "Oh yeah," she was like, "That was everybody. We couldn't. It came on NBC. Everybody watched it. We was hyped. Everybody like." We came back to school talking about it. Like nobody cared. They didn't say first black anything. They just gave you characters, and we all enjoyed
Well,
it.
like
There was no virtue signaling, you
they
know.
didn't
But
do
once
that
they
for
come with the
Yeah.
message, it's over. It's over.
no. You can race swaps have been a thing in Hollywood for again at least as long as I've been watching movies, which has been the 90s and onwards, and no one. I always take it back to the Kingpin in the Daredevil movie because even though that movie sucked, Michael Clark Duncan was fantastic as Kingpin, and no one was. I don't remember. Granted, I was young, but I still don't remember any first black Kingpin. Oh, we're gonna have a black bad guy in a superhero movie. Like it was just, dude. Michael Clark Duncan's a big jacked dude who, is intimidating. That's what we need for the character of Wilson Fisk, and no one gave a damn about the race swap. And frankly, I'm gonna ostracize myself here and say I actually like Michael Clark Duncan better than Vincent D'Onofrio.
Really?
I genuinely do. I love Vincent D'Onofrio as well, by the way. Not saying he's bad. I actually like the Michael Clark Duncan performance. He's got. I'll be honest. There's more gravitas to his voice because he doesn't speak in these broken sentences. He doesn't do a gruff Shatner,
Yeah.
so there's more gravitas in the Clark Duncan line delivery.
I can't
I miss
wait
him.
for White Casey.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
Oh no, we got
I'm scared, y'all.
we got it worse. Like it's already out. Like core member is a workhorse. He's gotten half a panel already.
Did
I'm
he drop
scared.
White Casey?
Yeah, he dropped Casey. You
Oh
guys
my
saw it,
god,
Hypno?
they
Like,
did.
send you a
Yeah,
link.
wow.
Bring it up.
Bro, he's got a thing for Casey. Damn. This is like an up.
Hold on,
I'm
I
like-
got you right now.
Damn,
Nerves
Core.
out of
You
my
trying to say
system,
something
man.
here?
That's partial Asian, partial
Girl,
white.
Megan Fox
Not
is what
bad,
he
thank you.
titled it.
Oh, he gave me tats on my neck. I like that.
Damn, Casey.
Damn.
You look good in white.
Damn, you look better
think
than
this
the,
is one
than
that
the
we-
Ariel
better
they
as
gave
black.
us for Disney.
I think this is
That's great.
Thank you so much. Ooh,
That-
I was scared.
It's an accurate Ariel, everyone.
He did my hair.
We're getting
really
very
nice.
diverse on this stream. It's great.
Oh yeah, we
I'm
are.
not
Everyone's gonna
gonna-
get their blackface, and Casey just got a do-over. That's all. That's what she got. The Ariel makeover. That's what she did.
He did. Yeah.
She got the white girl makeover. That's what it is. There we go.
But she
You
looks
just
Spanish.
need to
I
get
mean,
her some
hey, I'm
Indian lighting cream.
happy. right?
Indian lighting cream where they put cream
Yeah,
on
yeah,
there
I know.
to
I know
look
exactly.
lighter.
What you're
Oh my god.
talking- Cancer in a stick. Yeah. I know
That's
what you're talking
crazy,
about.
man. Crazy.
Thank you.
I love the memes. Love it. But yeah, so I don't even know what we were talking about, honestly.
Race swapping, which is like
race
No,
swapping?
like I'm trying to remember where we were topic wise because we gotta
Michael Clark.
actually
Duncan.
can we touch on this real quick? Can we touch on Guardians of the Galaxy really fast?
I think that was one of the
Because-
topics anyway. So
Yeah, no, but I didn't want to touch on it for too long. I just want to bring it up because it's actually doing very well, shockingly.
Not a bad movie.
I'm not surprised it's
But-
doing well.
I love the animal torture.
What's surprising me is that
Mm,
it's doing so
sorry.
well in China. It's huge in China.
Yeah,
Apparently.
I know.
because they love
Why are you surprised?
I'm just surprised because like most Marvel movies aren't usually that big like that.
Well, this
Hypno,
isn't
Ryan
really a
already said it.
Marvel movie, in all honesty, because it's not god awful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It has
it's
that
James
feel to it,
Gunn
too,
project.
right?
It's a last
International
hurrah.
feel.
To be fair, I mean the movie's been out like it is doing well. I'm not trying to disparage it because I haven't seen it. I'm
It's
not.
about to
But that
drop.
being said, it's a 400. Yeah, it's a 400 million worldwide, and if predictions are accurate, it needs at least 650 or so million to even make its budget back. So while it's doing well, is it still gonna more or less be a disappointment? I actually do think it is. Like
You know,
it might be doing better than we thought it was gonna do, but it's still probably gonna end in disappointment financially, considering how expensive it is.
You think it's gonna hit $1 billion?
Yeah.
I
God
don't
no.
think so. I don't think
No.
so.
No,
at
it
all.
won't
I think
hit
it
a
tops
billion.
out at 700 million.
Mm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the range. 700. No, actually, let's be more reasonable. 650 to 750 million.
I think it's
That's
gonna
the
make a
probable
couple
range.
bucks. I think it'll do 7 to 8, something around that. I think it'll do like
Yeah,
Black Panther numbers, Wakanda Forever type numbers, like 800 million,
Yeah.
700 million.
but
Th-
it,
that's what's
around
gonna
there.
be.
it was weird. People really don't go to the movies anymore because when me and my nephew went to see it, it was like 8 of us in there, including me and my nephew. And I'm like, dag. And it was the Monday. So what? Back in the day, it didn't matter. Like it would have still been.
I don't know
full.
about that. Not going like I've gone to the movies. Every movie I've gone and seen recently has been packed. I just haven't going to. I haven't been going to Marvel movies. Like when I went and saw Mario, packed. When I went and saw the re-release of Return of the Jedi, packed. When I went and saw not John Wick. What was the one that came out that same week?
Dungeons and Dragons?
No, I'm boycotting that. I'm the most
Oh.
anti Wizards of the Coast guy you will find on the internet. My
They're terrible.
channel name is
definitely Iron
Why?
Fist variant.
Oh, well, I didn't know that. So.
But yeah, like the last three movies I've gone and seen have genuinely been packed houses. And one of the movies, oh, that's what it was. It was they were doing a re-release of the old Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde back in. It was a few months ago. That was in February. But even a re-release of an old 30s black and white movie was a packed theater. And I think people are just genuinely tired of sludge, and they're seeing movies again because I thought that I was gonna go see a late night showing Monster Madness film, and it'd be like just me and a couple other people there. And no, it was. It's not like every theater, every seat was filled, but like a solid 75% of the theater at a 9 o'clock showing for an old 30s Universal monster movie, and 75% of the theater was filled. Like I was genuinely not expecting that. So I think people are just tired of Marvel. I really do,
And that's
or
such a
Disney in
shame.
general.
They are, and Marvel did this to themselves. But that movie, I did like it. I understand because Coach says you don't feel the harmony between them. I understand what Coach means. Slightly, you don't. I kind of think they wanted that a little bit, but the story arc of Rocket was like it got me. And then the villain, the guy who played that guy, like you believe that he was like a psycho.
The real Kang.
I do hope they make it.
Someone in the
I know a lot
comments
of people want to see him as the Kang variant. Go ahead.
Michael Quaid, you said if we want to talk about real racist issues, let's talk about chicken. Everyone always picks white meat. No one wants to talk about that. I actually had dark meat Chinese before coming on the stream. You're wrong.
I love dark meat.
I didn't even know there was dark meat for chicken. You see, I
really did have that. But I just thought it was
real quick.
pointed.
Legs and thighs. Right?
It's gonna get real. I'm telling you. If we keep this conversation going, the chat's gonna turn into something that's just. There's no recovering from it.
Chicken race
No
roll,
recovering. Oh no, it's already started. Like we already went with black chicken. Not Mario Brothers. No,
he was chicken and
sheep. Nice and juicy. Okay.
Well, what I will say on the topic though is
bound in
that
chains, and then we got freed by the hatchet.
It gets worse. Gets worse.
I'm sorry.
I will say on Guardians of the Galaxy that I don't think this is going to be the win that they were hoping that it was going to be, and that I know that they desperately need a win in their entertainment sector. It's not going to win,
right?
Yes.
Ooh.
The what? I don't even man. They pissed me. When they said Endgame, I was with it. I was like, all right, fine, Endgame. Then people started showing me all the different phases. I was like, oh, what is this?
Avengers game over.
They're not gonna let their cash cow go away. Why would they do that?
It's like Rings of Power. They don't want to let go of the cash cow.
To me, it felt like we were trying to hold on to something. I was like, this is weird. Like, I was like, Stark is dead. Captain America is old. Let it go. As much as I loved going to these movies, they kept coming out with others. I said, oh no, this ain't for me.
I haven't seen a Marvel movie in theaters since Spider-Man No Way Home, which was mid, by the way. It was a 6 at best. And then I've not seen a single Marvel film after that, except I took to the highest seas for Doctor Strange 2 because Sam Raimi is my favorite director of all time. So I felt like I really wanted to see if he at least did some. I'm glad I didn't pay to see it because Doctor Strange 2 sucks. So last theatrical Marvel movie I saw was No Way Home, and even that was a disappointment to me.
So
I've never been to the cinema, so yeah.
Really?
No, never been. Ever.
I was about to ask a stupid question. Don't pay me out. Do they not have them in England? That's such a stupid.
No, they have cinemas. It's just I've never been.
Do you not have a theater in
London? They have them. They just spell it differently.
Does Africa have electricity? Same thing.
I heard y'all with that earlier. I said
same
I said
thing.
they go in early.
Hey, we do. We go in We go in
man.
early and we go in hard.
Yeah,
Okay?
yeah.
Then we pull out the
Real
last
hard.
second because you remember we're trying to monetize
And there's
as much as
mess
possible.
everywhere.
Man, this conversation is just.
Pull out
We
and
can't
there's
talk
white
about
mess
It's not as
everywhere.
bad as Booty Hall Nirvana from last stream.
salute from
Okay.
Egypt.
Got
Mama.
Egypt in the chat. Egypt's in the chat. Shout out.
Oh, Assalamu
Oh,
alaikum.
Mohamed El Sayed.
Hopefully,
Thank
Egypt
you.
knows how to hit the like button. That's for sure.
Assalamu alaikum.
Hit that like button.
What?
Don't
No,
ever
I
do that
am you
again.
Muslim, and I
Yes,
I-
my brother. Welcome to the stream.
listen,
Okay.
hey, I
Welcome to
love my
the
Arabs. I do. I keep trying to ask the Taliban public relations department to come on my
Arab.
channel, and then they
It's Arab. Arab.
yeah, I know.
I love my
That's what they
Arabs,
Arab.
all right. They
And
are so
Hypno's
nice to
like-
me.
because he knows that's true too. He says Arabs too. You do Hypno.
Don't say Arabs.
What do you say? You say
Arab.
Arab?
It sounds like you're saying something.
What do you
conquered
say,
half
Arab?
the world.
It
No.
sounds like a medication or a soda when you say it like that. Hey,
You never
I
heard
would
that
like
song?
some
You got that
Arabs
Arab
with
money.
my
You never heard that
fries and my
song?
burger.
Y'all gotta
my
go
God.
listen to the song Arab Money. What? It was a good song back when I was like a hot girl.
How
back-
American
Yes, salty.
of you,
Haram.
basically.
Haram.
So, so yeah,
It is
Taliban
haram.
public relations department. I'm trying to get them on my channel. I want to get the Taliban on my channel.
Oh man. We need
Can you
more
imagine?
people from Egypt. Please, all you Arabs, please join our stream.
Oh my
We
god.
need more Arabs on the
Am I
stream.
bad? Is that
Operation
racist?
Iraq
I
Freedom.
never thought I was saying it wrong.
We need more Arabs
Arab.
on the stream. We need more of your representation, and we need people that can actually understand all the bombing jokes that we're trying to get across here.
Just like
Right.
Muslim, not Muslim.
I don't say
if,
Muslim.
Arab, it's
I don't say
Muslim.
Muslim.
if we need more Arab representation, we could just get more black people. That's what Netflix did. Go for it.
South, we gotta get a South Sudanese person. You know, like when we get that done.
They do know how to hit the like
representation.
button. I like that. Nice. Good job. Scott.
Hey.
Get Arabs on the show when you Yankees, Dixies, and Callies are bombing every part of their damn world.
I don't know what you're talking
Exactly.
about.
Yes, Ryan.
What is
Yes,
this title?
Ryan. Ryan knows what's up.
Libya,
Not the Arabs be worried
Syria,
about bombing.
Egypt,
Leave it there.
everyone around Israel, you just bomb.
Oh my
for no
god.
reason.
Guys, you need to hear this title. Hypno, bring it up. This is
Telling the
Steve
truth.
set the great title ever.
Bombing.
Captain Arab hunting the great white meat whale.
What?
Sorry,
What the
let
hell
me
is
say
that?
it in let me say it in normal person speech.
Hmm.
Captain Arab hunting the great white meat whale.
Yeah,
Get
That
it?
sounds like
whale?
something.
No,
I'm
no,
not
that wouldn't be
clicking
a
that.
white
That
whale.
sounds
No, no,
terrible.
Arab?
No, that's not a naughty video, you ignorant fool.
It sounds like it is.
Yes,
I
It
love
sure
it.
as hell does.
I was.
It sounds like the gayest video ever, though. To be honest, or
That's how I
the
say it,
fat
Arab.
video, like of some weird BBW video. Oh god.
I can't go to hell. Some people watching her. I can't.
Nah, we've already come back from it. We
Shout out to all the people watching on Rumble. By the way, we got a lot of people watching. Thank you
Ooh.
so much, and
You guys, I'm
make
on
sure you
Rumble
hit that
too.
like. Make sure you hit that like button on Rumble. Support us there because we're trying to grow there as well because their live stream algorithm is crazy. The amount of views you get is pretty wild. So
if
they
any of
don't-
y'all on Rumble are Arabs, then give us a like.
Stop
Come
making
over
fun
then
of the way
on
I say
YouTube.
Arab.
blowing steam at your
That's how I said it. I said it like that for years. They never had my Arabs here in Philly. Love me.
Arab.
Like what? That's
I like I said, my
I've never
Arab.
heard it sound like that
Arab.
before.
Oh
Arab.
man.
Like
You guys are
Oh
too
my
much.
Arab.
Let's just say
Arab.
what they are. Let's just say terrorists, okay? Like,
No,
Oh my god.
Oh wow!
no,
We're just going
I'm,
down.
Wow.
I'm joking. I'm joking.
no. No.
Oh,
I get it.
man.
There was a time where I thought
Leon,
the
are you
same thing, and then
Israeli?
I found out that.
Well, I mean, let's touch on this since
Leon, the Jesus guy.
since we got Arabs in the chat. Let's talk about
He
this. So
says it too.
let's talk about.
Not
Let's
that-
talk about no, but we never actually touched on it about what she
Oh.
said about dismissing
Oh,
Egyptians'
yeah,
complaints about blackwashing and everything. So
Oh.
apparently, Adele James thinks that she is in full control over the narrative, and that you need to be okay with blackwashing. And we're gonna get into it because early in the stream we talked about it, but unfortunately, you kind of derailed a little bit. So the fact that she said this, and then she also says that blackwashing isn't a thing, but didn't she say in another interview that blackwashing was racist, right? That was the whole thing, right? Systematic racism, whatever it
Yeah,
was.
something like that. Yeah, things were said.
So
Kind of hypocritical.
I think it's kind of insane how somebody can really go and tell an entire country of people that they're not allowed to feel what they feel. I think that's pretty nuts.
Especially when they're angry and, well, they're not afraid to kill people.
You know, Ryan does not let up on that. He was saying that earlier,
Hey.
like she doesn't want to mess
Oh
with
my
people.
God.
If they had the technology, Israel would have been conquered by now. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
I don't know,
seriously.
man. I don't know if anyone's conquering God's chosen people. Like, I don't care how good your technology is.
You know, but why don't we just
Okay,
stick to the
Jesus.
Black Panther,
Sorry.
Wakanda had some pretty good technology, so they still never conquered anybody. though.
Yeah, they kind of just like pussies, just hid. Instead of conquering all of Africa, I don't know, preventing the slavery and everything. Nah, screw that, bro. We like our technology.
Mm.
Wait, what is this? Hold on.
What,
What did you find?
bro? I
They
don't
put-
know why he did this.
There's only one.
They
one
made
group of
that
people-
girl Karen. That's crazy.
Yeah, this one hurts.
I don't like that one. No,
They
take that.
turned
That
you
is
into a
ugly.
Karen.
I
Why
think I
did they
did
do
your
that
eyebrows,
before?
Casey.
Why does she have the Jersey Shore bronzer? Like, what is going on
I
here?
know.
She does. What the heck?
You look like the
That
type
girl
of person that
Karen.
would complain about black people barbecuing in a public park.
I complain about that now. I don't even. I was
That
told I'm
is
not invited
insane.
to the
Go
cookout.
there.
I,
He went
I was,
that
I was
far.
revoked from the cookout. Just so you know. Yeah, I told them, well, I'd like to live, so I'm not. I wasn't coming any.
Oh my God.
Absolutely.
Well, back to Cleopatra. What the hell were we talking about her?
Yeah, I'm bringing it
right,
back up again.
blackwashing. Right. So let's see. Most of her comments, bullshit. It's not your show. It's Jada's Frankenstein's monster of a show. It's not. It may have some correct parts being told about the historical accuracy, but I am absolutely sure that when I review this damn show, I'm gonna find out they gave like literally jack squat shit about actual historical accuracy.
Well,
And
she
you know
says it
what?
right here. It says
Yeah.
it says James would then reveal that her defense of Netflix's race swapping was rooted in contemporary notions of race politics, claiming that the response from the Egyptian people was 100% fundamentally rooted in racism, which is a very modern ideology.
So
She just
history
flat out
is
called
racist.
an entire country racist.
An entire
I-
country.
Yeah, she
I was
did.
just
An
about to
entire
say that.
country.
They're
I
taking
will
it so
say,
far.
ladies
It's called
and
Egypt
gentlemen,
racist.
that Arabs, well, they enslaved far more black people than the Western world did. And in order to quell their numbers, stop them from bleeding, they would cut off their genitals and most of them would die. So I don't
Yeah.
think it's a modern ideology because the Arabs, well, they were a lot more.
Arabs.
Bleh. You bloopered me! Don't do that.
Well, they would cut off
Y'all
their
don't sound
the they would
Alright.
cut off the
Beautiful.
nuts, not the actual
Yeah, you just cut 'em
phallus.
off.
Yeah, cut them off and then cauterize them.
Mm.
There you go, guys.
Ew.
That's why most of them would die because
Yeah.
your brain like it can only take so much overload of pain before it just shuts you down. Yeah,
Yeah.
I do
It's
like how they
not a
say
modern
this.
thing.
Well, if they watch it,
Eunuchs.
if they give us some hate views, I hope that they will understand that it's a debate, it's a conversation, it's not a definitive answer. Then why'd you call it a fucking documentary?
And that's
They
what I'm
don't-
saying. So you see, let me just say this, right?
Mhm.
Go ahead.
There's a lot of history that and I'm not, I'm not going into if she's, I don't, this has nothing to do with Cleo. There's a lot of history that has been changed. We know this. We're all smart enough to know this. We could have had a real conversation. Instead, you tell us this is what it is, and then now you're coming back saying, "Well, it's not definite." So why are you calling people racist when they're debating you that it's not definite? What's going
Exactly.
on?
And
That's not
Well
fair.
said,
Damn.
Casey. Well said.
Hypnotic, if you want to scroll back up, there was a second paragraph after the one you highlighted was actually, in my opinion, even more interesting. Right there. Yeah. The ancient Egyptians do not think about race like we do because race has only really been contextualized since we understand since the transatlantic slave
Nonsense.
trade. That is, that is not to me. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm not the most historically accurate type of individual, but are Jews not
Wait.
also a race? And then the ancient Egyptians enslaved Jews, so they clearly understood the context of
Way
race
before,
even
yeah.
back then.
Hmm.
They
Everybody-
did.
Listen, indentured servitude, and you know that's the thing. And so this is why some of history. I know I can't get too crazy and say I don't believe most of it, but this connection that black folk have to slavery, where they feel like they were the only slaves, you know, it becomes the ideology, it becomes their identity, like, because I was a slave. No, you were not. You were never a slave. Okay, you were never a slave. There were slaves, but you're not a slave, right? Okay, then they make it see. So then I'm like 30 something years old, finding out there was Irish slaves. It's a class system. But no,
the Chinese and Mongolians would enslave each other. Like every culture that has
exactly.
it was a business. It's been an economic business ever since the inception of culture
Civilization.
Thank you. That's where civilization. There has
Yeah.
always been slavery. Now, was the slavery always based on race? No. In fact, that's actually quite rare. The slavery was usually based on just whoever they conquered, and so you would have an amalgamation
Commerce.
of different races as slaves. But slavery has always been around. All right, and if the statistics are
actually
correct,
still around.
there's something like I think it was like 83% or something of black people in the U.S. today are not descendants of slavery.
Yes,
So
thank
it's
you.
actually a very small percentage of black people that actually have slavery in their roots.
There
Private
is-
property, folks, the root of private property as a fundamental right came from the practice of slavery. You know, the right to private
did.
property in the feudal era was non-existent. And then
Yeah,
as we went
yeah.
into the merchants era and then into what we are in today, the capitalist system, the right to private property became essential. And the issue of slavery, one of the few issues of our time, when morality trumped money. Now, if that happened more often, folks, we'd be in a much more peaceful world.
And
Would it be
this is
though?
one of the few facts about one of the few historical facts that I'm very know a whole lot about is that like people always point out like to jump to like, oh, the racist founding fathers that didn't if all men are created equal, well, they only meant white men. George Washington has gone on record as saying that they wish they would have had freedom, or at least he wished the slaves would have been free back then, but he knew that the budding country financially could not operate without slavery.
Yeah.
So even back then, there was a few of them that knew,
Revolution.
man, this is wrong, but we cannot succeed without it. So that doesn't make it okay.
Yeah.
I'm not saying George Washington, amazing dude, because he was didn't like slavery or whatever. I'm just saying that like even back then there was anti-slavery sentiment, but the logistics of starting a country, fortunately or unfortunately, depending on how you look at it, win that one out in the end.
Listen,
Like, let me tell you something about when it comes to the whole concept of slavery. Because a lot of people, the reasons you guys said are great, but also there's this big fundamental part behind it. And that is that for the longest time in our history, at least as far as we know of it, we've been basically, a lot of the societies that existed in ancient times lived in very rough environments, and when some of these societies created empires, these people that made these empires, they were usually individuals that came from places that, because of their crazy circumstances, they had to acquire more people to do menial tasks so that they could focus on bigger projects. That was their mindset at the time, and that was the mindset for many more millennia afterward. It was just how people thought. You see, in the concept of slavery was simply more viewed as sort of commerce in a way, acquiring stock, if you will. I mean, I hate to say it, but that is how it was viewed
property.
for a lot of people of wealth and power and esteem. The more slaves or stock that you had under your care, and the better you treated them, usually, the better you treated them, eventually they'll become freed. But then even after they acquire their freedom, they would want to still come back and serve you, depending on how well you treated them. Because guess what? These slaves would feel indebted to their former master. And then now, as free men, would devote more of their time and resources and extra privileges into helping advance their master's wishes because they already knew their master so well. Now, am I saying that this is how it was for all periods of slavery in various societies? Of course not. We are talking about rare cases where some of these individuals were wise enough to use the circumstances of their time and the assets they had available, both human and non-human, in the sense of other armies and materials and so on and so forth. And at the end of the day, what I'm trying to say is these people just viewed slavery like that. It was a concept of advancing society by suppressing groups that they thought were inferior. That's the truth. I'm sorry to say it. Now, again, there are exceptions, but yeah, at the end of the day, Cleopatra being black, sorry, buddy, nope. She wasn't black. She was part of a royal dynasty.
That bird is more
Yes.
Cleopatran than that damn woman.
Yes. In fact, they would have worshipped that bird if they had ever seen it.
I know, right? Yeah. And how about
They
that?
would have
Casey,
right?
thought
go
of
ahead. You want to say
emissary
something?
force.
Good.
Let me just for the slave thing, right? Look. Oh man, when I was on the left, I was delusional. And I used to say stupid stuff. Words have power. Yeah, because they owned me. That's sick, really, if you think about it. You really actually give up your connection to God when you say certain things like that. But anyway, I like to tell people the truth because so you know where I came from and why I'm so adamant of who I am today. I don't lie about where I've been. No, I'm growing. I'm growing, But I remember when I went to South Carolina. Now this was after my enlightenment, my cognitive dissonance, where I almost threw up when I realized the lies that were told to me. And I went to South Carolina, and Charleston is full of some beautiful history. And I went to the Rhett Aiken House and the John Russell House, two houses that are basically preserved the way how they were from like back in Civil War times, you know what I mean? And where you could see the cars and you could see where the slaves lived and how like some of the wood you're walking on is from like back then and everything. It almost feels eerie because you almost feel like the spirits are in there, but that might just be me. But it was so, not only was it so like interesting, I found it very interesting, but they told both stories. They told you the story of the owner of the houses, and then they told you the story of the slaves that worked there. And when you see what they went through, right? You would, and I'm not gonna get what you think I'm probably gonna get, but when you see what they went through, I mean, there was a point that it was so hot outside, and then they're showing you like, yeah, this is the stove, this is the kitchen, and they were like, they were like, you're hot right now, right? Imagine having to keep that stove on all day because at any moment, the owner might want to eat something. What are you going to tell them? Like, no, I turned off the fire. Like, no, you had to get it ready, right? And all I was thinking was, I've done too much complaining in my life. I didn't get mad like that's sad that they did that. No, I was just like, I need to live right. For people who didn't have that chance at the time. And by the way, the owners of those houses, they I think the John Russell, he left money behind for his slaves when he died. Then when I went to the Magnolias, they showed us slave houses there. When they were freed, some of the slaves stayed, these free men. They stayed in the Magnolias in that house because they had such a connection with the owners. So they still worked for them. They just got paid. And then they had kids. Some of their kids like went off to colleges and stuff like that. But it was like almost like a family thing. Am I saying that it was just so that this was just beautiful time for Black people? I'm not saying that, but I don't know what it was. How about that? How about I feel like a lot of it is propagandized to make me feel oppressed, to make me still feel like a slave today when I'm not a slave. You know what I mean? Like I'm not, right? And how about it's to make me hate the history, but I don't give respect at that point to the people who worked hard in that history to be able to produce something better for the future. And that's why I'm like, a lot of this I don't believe all of how it happened. I just simply don't. But it happened, but it's not happening today. And so when I hear Black people say we too oppressed, that's not gonna work, I'm like, bro, you are putting yourself in that box because in 2023, there's too many programs out here for you not to figure out what you're doing with yourself. Stop telling me that the white man won't let me do it. What does that mean? They don't even care about you know what I mean? Like, what white man? Who are you talking about?
Well,
Nobody's thinking about you. You're
I
so vain.
personally think, Casey, that together we can make Black America great again by defending the family, by defending institutions of marriage, bringing people together through social peace and economic prosperity, and ensuring that all people, no matter their race, color, or creed, are able to have strong family values because, well, single parenthood causes a lot of problems in every community, but
There you
more
go.
stereotypically in the Black community.
Yeah, and it's
You want to know
praise.
what community doesn't really have, at least not to the near
Thank you,
extent
Ryan.
numbers, is the Asian community. The Asian community does not have, single family households. And let's look at some test scores. They're kicking our ass, at least here in the U.S. I mean, I'm sorry, maybe there's something that we could learn value wise from a lot of these Eastern cultures that put a lot of emphasis on the traditionalism that comes with a family unit. Now, obviously, that's not me going out of the way being like, hey, homos, you ain't allowed to be gay because you won't have good kids. Like, no, what I'm saying is that clearly these Asian cultures have existed for a very long time, very successfully. I mean, Japan, technologically, and some points have been a solid decade ahead of where we are in the West. And that was after, they were an isolationist country for eons, and then look at them now. So I think that just maybe there's something about Eastern family-oriented philosophy that we should probably take note of instead of this modern-day Marxist bullshit.
Yeah, we need more anime bitches.
We used to until all the activism started. You know what I mean?
More anime.
Yeah, once that activism started, it came and destroyed. And I'm going to end off with this. The first people they tested it on was Black folk. Black folk, after slavery, they were doing big things. They were. When I have to hear, oh, because of slavery, that's an absolute lie. They had realties and businesses. They had their own businesses. And then somebody came
Black Wall Street was a thing in Tulsa.
Yes,
Black Wall Street was a thing.
More than it was happening. And then somebody came and told them, but why can't you sit next to the white man? And that's all. And then it derailed everything. And all the activism and the family was broken.
No one is saying that Black people have had it so good for so long. Why are they being all uppity now? Like what we're saying, at least what I assume you're saying, Casey, and what I'm saying is that neither side that's spitting narratives, left or right, are being entirely honest. The truth, like anything else, is somewhere in the middle. And maybe, just maybe, take some time out your damn day. Do a few Google searches, then do a few more to fact check, and you will start to realize, hey, okay, things are a bit more complicated and also not actually as bad, despite the fact that they're more complicated than I initially thought. Shut the fuck up, stop watching Fox, stop watching CNN, and just think for your damn self.
The truth is reality-based, and I think on that note, we should bring it to an end.
I know that's right.
Yeah.
I know that's right, Ryan. I'm gonna let you have it because I was about to add my truth thing too.
Yeah. It's all good though. Well, listen, guys, the stream was awesome tonight. A lot of high energy. It was great. I appreciate everybody who stopped by in the chat. We had some of the highest viewership we've had in a while, so thank you so much for all your support. We're gonna do our outros now. We're gonna start with Mr. Ryan Roger Athe, our local Asian. Take it away, sir.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm cosplaying as Coach today. Thank you all very much for watching. If you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe to the iconic Hypnotic. I'm sure you'll enjoy what he has to offer. Look at all this mysticism. Everything is great. Everything is wonderful. Believe in yourself. Suffer no fools. Other words. And run. I took that from someone else's ending. But thank you all for being here. And hopefully you can join us next week. Hopefully I'm still on and still alive. Check me out at Ryan Roger Athe.
I hope you are both. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Casey, take it away.
I was tearing up strawberries just now. Okay.
Okay, you got this.
Thank you guys always for coming through to the live. Thank you, Hypnotic, for always hosting this amazing space. I can't tell you how much I needed today. I'm not gonna. It was just bad. It was bad earlier, but I'm glad I get to end the day off with a smile, hanging out with y'all. We had great conversations all the time. And I said that in one of my videos. I said, the pop culture brings you right into some deep conversations talking about history, spirituality, everything. And we do it wonderful on this live, on this chat, Saturday Night Hypnosis. The chat is always litty, it's always a good time. And so if you guys subscribe to Hypnotic, I'm sure you already have. I mean, because he's so amazing, right? But and then if you get a chance to, of course, subscribe to all of us. Then if you get to me, subscribe to my channel, please. Because seriously, all jokes aside, that girl Casey on YouTube, we make the inconvenient truth great again. That's what we're doing. So it covers all topics: pop culture, the war, government, everything, our borders. We have no country. America's done. So we talk about it all. And I like dialogue. If you don't agree with everything I say, please let me know. So my goal right now is to get 1,000 by my birthday, which is June 16. I know we can do it, guys. All right.
Beautiful. Good job.
You could just put that girl Casey.
I was going to type everything's in the description box below, but I'll just say it. Everything's in the description box below, guys. All channel links are there for you to utilize. And now we got Words of Paradise.
Yes. Casey did mention peeling strawberries. I'd like to remind you guys the 0 sugar strawberries and cream Dr. Pepper. So I'm done with that dumb bit now. Sorry, Casey.
Sponsored.
Hashtag not sponsored. But no, seriously, it was awesome being on here. I've been watching for you for about 3 or so months now. You've turned me on to Casey's channel and Roger. Just like it's been great. I remember Dragon Slayer blew me away with his knowledge of the Sith history. I thought I was the only one that knew that deep lore that they were actually an alien race. That was on a stream a couple months ago. So I was like, damn, this Dragon Slayer dude, he's pretty cool. So yeah, being on here was awesome. I hope to come back someday if that'd be allowed. But yeah, I enjoyed it very much. You can subscribe to me at with Words of Paradise. It is a nerdy news channel where it's that simple. I talk about nerdy news, good and bad. Video games, anime, movies, Dungeons and Dragons, Magic the Gathering, good and bad news, because I don't like to just spread negativity, although there is a lot of that. And also, politically, it has a political lens, but I'm politically impartial. I will talk negatively about the left or the right, depending on whoever is being the dumbest at the time. And believe it or not, we got a fair share of idiocy on both sides. So yeah, please, I would love a subscription. I'm also hoping to make it to 1,000 by the end of June. So me and Casey in that same boat. And obviously, if you're not subbed to anyone else, subscribe to them as well. These are fantastic folks, and thank you again. This has been Words of Paradise.
Very nice. Very nice. It was a pleasure having you, by the way.
You're
welcome back anytime. Dragon Slayer, commentaries. Take it away, sir.
Well, okay. It's pretty bad. Damn, I'm the last one again. Okay. All right. So, guys, if you want to watch a channel that makes detailed and funny commentary videos and that sometimes talks like this all the time to act like a bro, or talks like this sometimes to act like a weird redneck, then, well, you already know where to check me out. Dragon Slayer commentaries. You can look it up on the search bar. It's the only channel with that name because I am just that mad. And, well, links are in the description. But yeah, if you guys are into that sort of thing, come check me out. As for all these wonderful people on the panel here, please watch them as well. They are great at what they do in their own individual channels. And to be honest with you guys, I know I have been kind of quiet these last week and a half. That's because I had to literally calm down after going hard making the Peter Pan video that I wasn't planning on making, thanks to Hypno. And so as a result, my mind needed a break. But I'm working on getting Demolition Man and Black Patra as Wakanda Stands Forever review out of the way. I don't know. I'm still working on that title, but that's basically what I'm doing. Yeah, look, Steve, I know. Bruh, I know I lift, okay? But yeah, I'm working on that, guys, okay? But yeah, if you're into this kind of thing and you want to see me deconstruct Peter Pan or even the entire Mandalorian Season 3, those videos are out. They're available. Go check them out. That's it for me.
Very nice. Very nice. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. All right, folks. With that being said, number 38 is in the books. Thank you guys so much for all your support. As always, a couple of just notes real quick. I am starting to live stream on Twitch, Rumble, and Kick more often now. So if you're not following me there, please go follow me there if you want to check out some gaming stuff. I've decided to move that away from my YouTube channel just to keep it separate. I think it's better for my channel if I do that. So that's what I've decided to do. So please make sure to go check that out. If you want to go see the Adventures of a Bigot series that I was doing before on YouTube, I will be doing that now on Twitch and Kick and Rumble. So you guys can go check it out there. Make sure you subscribe, follow, whatever the word is, and enable your notifications. And that's it, man. With that being said, thank you guys so much for all your support tonight. The chat was awesome. You guys were going nuts as always, and we appreciate all the support. It's been such an amazing time seeing the live stream grow. And we saw a lot of new faces tonight, so I hope you guys join us in the next live stream. On that note, guys, have a great night. Go be bigots, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace out, everybody. Good night.
See you guys.
I am not gay. I have relationships with women and sex with men.
And I got news for you. That means you're gay.